In Denison, what he did at Permian, and if anybody knows, guys like Roy Williams up in Detroit was a former Permian Panther. They like to throw the football down there in Odessa.
You're talking about the Denison Yellow Jackets, tonight's opponent for McKinney North. The Yellow Jackets last year had all-world running back Corey Robertson. That's probably the biggest news of this game for the McKinney North Bulldogs is that Corey Robertson is in Iowa. He's a Hawkeye now, far away from McKinney, Texas. And Sean Pratt will tell you he's the first one to be excited about that. Corey Robertson not redshirted yet up in Iowa. He may even play some this year.
Well, you look at his impact on the game last year. You saw it from the first play, or not the first play, I guess, from the first time he touched the ball on a kickoff, ran it to the house for a touchdown. Without his explosive ability, Denison needed to do something different. And so that's why they're going to try the move to the spread offense, because they don't have a guy like Robertson.
You know, Robertson last year in this football game was just absolutely unbelievable. Accounted for 409 all-purpose yards and 5 touchdowns at Munson Stadium a year ago. Denison won that football game 52-27. Leonard Barbosa had a pretty good night running the football, and that's another thing you got to talk about with these McKinney North Bulldogs. Barbosa, gone. J.R. Housey, gone. Those were big playmakers. Got to replace those with guys like Eric Herbal. He did play last year. He was a receiver, but he is a true passing quarterback.
Yeah, and last year not being in the for most of the year not being a quarterback, actually being a receiver, you saw the kind of plays he can make running downfield, and he's got some speed. So this is the type of quarterback that you're going to see who has the ability to throw and run, and in today's football, that's a dangerous combo.
Chase Barrett will be the running back, replacing J.R. Housey. Barrett, not a lot of people know a lot about him. He is a downfield runner, Coach Pratt says. He's a great blocker, Coach Pratt says. He's not the running back that Shannon Woods was. He's not the running back J.R. Housey was. But he is a downfield runner and does some other things better than some of those guys. We'll see what Chase Barrett can bring to the table for the Bulldogs tonight. We are going to the Senior Spotlight. We're going to take a quick timeout. Be back in a moment at MISD Stadium on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho. The Lions have their big Bulldog helmet blown up at the north end of the field. The Denison Yellow Jackets have their black tunnel with the big gold yellow jacket on top of it. They're about to be prepared to go through their run-through. This is an exciting time of the year, both schools, and their very first football game tonight. Denison Yellow Jackets last year, 8-3. They were a playoff team, were upset and by district, a lot of people thought, by Aledo in the Class 4A Division II playoffs in the first round. That was not what Corey Robertson and company had intended to happen there to the Denison Yellow Jackets last year. The year before that, they were the district champs, 5-0. They haven't lost a district game since 2002. They lost to Wiley in a 4A Division II playoff game right here at MISD Stadium. Wiley shocked the world. Corey Robertson everybody thought it was the highly touted offense of Denison versus the highly touted defense of Wiley, and Wiley came out on top that night.
Well, like I said yesterday when we did the McKinney opener, I'm a big fan of defense. Defense will win you championship games. It goes to show you, when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. It's the old cliche, but it's literally you have to take things game by game. You can't look ahead, and I'm not saying the Yellow Jackets did that, but it's still something that when you get into the playoffs, you have to play your best football of the year. And if they get upset, then there comes a time where you have to use that as a fuel into this game, saying, hey, we should have made it further. Let's do it this year. And then conversely, McKinney North is almost playing with the same fire because they've never made the playoffs and they want to be the first. So I think we're going to see a pretty explosive game today.
You know, and talking about Denison a little bit and their playoff-rich history and their history with their coach Bob Brown, how about this? He's been the head coach for 13 seasons there in Denison. He is known for the toss sweep. When Denison runs the football for more than 200 yards, which they have done 93 times in his 13 years, the Yellow Jackets have a combined record of 90 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. 92-1 when the Jackets rush for 200 or more yards. That is incredible. That goes back to 1992.
Well, don't expect to see that maybe just a whole lot this year now that they're reverting to the spread offense. But you know what? There's an old saying, you use the run to open up the pass. And a lot of times you can use the pass to open up the run, because if one team's focusing on one aspect of your offense, you can go to the other. And so don't be surprised to see the Yellow Jackets put those rushing yards up, especially if they have to respect the pass just a bit more than they did in years past.
Now the McKinney North Bulldogs have a new attitude on defense. Hired a new defensive coordinator, Kenny Duck. He has brought in a new philosophy, more athleticism, things like that. They even have what they call the DPD, the dog pound defense. They get to wear special jerseys in practice if they're a part of this unit, and they try to fight to be a part of that unit and try to maintain to be a part of that unit.
Well, and one of the things that they've got going for them on the defense is that they've actually got some good returners coming back from last year. They're going to put a lot of their hope on the defense along returning linebacker Kyle Tier, and then also cornerback Coyle Permeter. And then they're going to bring their leading tackler on the outside linebacker from last year, Bo Burns. So look for those linebacking core to be strong. And then that'll take Zach Plummer over to linebacker. And what that's going to be is a surprise. He's never played football until last year, and now he's a starter here. He played sparingly on the defensive line last year to top it all off, and now this year the starting linebacker. So if he can play the way they think he's capable of playing, North should have one of the best linebacking cores in the district.
We're going to take a quick timeout on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Back in a moment at MISD Stadium. All right, thanks a lot, Teddy Sappho down on the sidelines. The Denison Yellow Jackets won the toss and have deferred to the second half. And we're going to be underway here shortly with McKinney North Bulldog football for the first time in 2005. Back deep, normally, last year anyway, the kickoff returners were Cameron Buford and Cameron Eubanks. We'll see if they come out tonight. It is Cameron Eubanks as one of the captains in the middle of the field, along with Justin Janow and a few others. Blake Boblett's out there as well. McKinney North really excited down there on the sidelines. They're jumping in their helmets. They're ready to go. The McKinney North faithful coming to their feet. Just about everybody here wearing orange shirts. The Denison Yellow Jackets, you can hear the roar from the far side. And you can hear the bass music playing in the background as well. And now the band comes on. Here come the Bulldogs. Nice crowd tonight on both sides. McKinney North brings their house all in orange. The Denison Yellow Jackets on the far sideline do a good job of filling up the seats over there. Black and gold over there. Denison coming out wearing their gold tops, not yellow, but true gold. The black pants, the black helmets with the inscript jackets on their helmet like they have had since the early 80s. The McKinney North Bulldogs have brand new jerseys. Orange helmets, dark blue jerseys with kind of the stripe over the shoulder pad like the 50s, like the New York Jets kind of still style that. They have the stripe over the shoulders, big, thick white numerals outlined in orange. The stripe down the pants in white outlined in orange. We're going to get ready for the national anthem. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM.
An acapella arrangement of our national anthem.
Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We're in the middle of the national anthem. Let's listen to that a little bit. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem at MISD Stadium. It is football time in Texas, in McKinney, Texas. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on 97.5 K-Lake FM. We are very happy to be here, and this should be one of those games where both teams have changed so much, Brandon. You really don't know what to expect.
Yeah, so this is going to be similar to yesterday. We saw a lot of changes, and we really didn't know much about Fort Worth Western Hills. Plus, you had the excitement of a season opening game, and for the second day in a row, we're going to get the same excitement, not knowing really what to expect out of either team. I'm looking for a good game here today.
I'm looking forward to seeing Eric Herbal, the highly touted junior quarterback, 6'2", 185 pounds. Last year on the season, played sparingly in place of Leonard Barbosa towards the end of the season, played really well. He was 19 out of 34 for 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. The kid, if you heard the senior spotlight, Cameron Eubanks said Eric Herbal likes to throw like Leonard Barbosa liked to run. And that's kind of the case here. That's a perfect analogy for Eric Herbal.
And one of the things on a quarterback like that you look for is a guy who's going to pass first, but in trouble, he can't run.
He is a big, strong kid with a big, strong kid behind him, and Chase Barrett. The nice thing about these McKinney North Bulldogs is what they have coming back. 123 yards for Cameron Buford and a touchdown. Kenny McGowan, 21 catches, 337 yards and 2 touchdowns is coming back. Blake Boblitz, the all-world kicker, is coming back. Now, Kenny McGowan in this game last year caught a 92-yard touchdown pass from Leonard Barbosa, went up in the air on the far sideline, brought it down in traffic. It was a great catch, broke away 92 yards later. McKinney North was in the end zone.
And that's the same type of excitement that Sherman's trying to do with their offense, spread offense, open it up. And now I think we got the Beef O'Brady's kickoff.
Here is Denison lining up for the Beef O'Brady's kickoff. The kick is a squibber right down the middle of the field. Thought it was going to be taken by an up man. Now Cameron Eubanks looks for the outside, is going to be buried at about the 25-yard line. Eubanks picked it up on a hop, had not very far to go as he's down right at the 20. Now they're going to say the 26.
Well, and that's what you look for in the squib kick, is it allows your coverage team to get down the field. There's 2 things high schools are reverting to more than the traditional kickoff: the pooch kick and then the squib kick. This one was taken at the 10, got up to the 25, but the coverage team had time to get there before Eubanks had time to make any moves.
Right after this first play, we're going to give you the McKinney North starting offense, the dog offense. Here is 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. This is Herbal in the backfield in shotgun formation. This formation is very similar to what McKinney ran last night. And there is a flag on the play, probably movement a little early, split out wide. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineup for the McKinney offense.
False start against the offense is the call.
First down and 15 after the penalty. Shotgun. Herbal takes it, wants to pass, looking left side, has his man incomplete. He was looking for Boblitz on the far sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 15. We're just underway. There has been exactly 11 seconds run off the clock here. No score at McKinney ISD Stadium between McKinney North and Denison. 2nd down and 15. Herbal 0 for 1 on his attempt to Boblitz there. Chase Barrett in the backfield. Kind of anxious to see what he brings to the table. We're spelling J.R. Housey from last year. 2 receivers to the near side. Cameron Buford is split out wide right. Eubanks goes in motion. The ball is on the turf. It was a high snap. Herbal, it wasn't a bad snap. It looked like it just went through Herbal's hands.
Well, it looked like as Herbal was following the motion man there on that sequence, Cameron Eubanks, as he went right to left and just had an eye on the motion man, and then the snap was coming at him, and he didn't look like he was quite ready yet.
Cameron Buford and Eubanks to the right. Over on the far sideline is Blake Boblitz. Barrett in the backfield, standing to the left of Eric Herbal. A man in the slot, and Herbal wants the ball, gets it, drops back, and wants to throw. Looking over the middle, fires it down the middle, has Cameron Buford caught at the 35-30 and down at the 25-yard line. A great catch as the referee gets tumbled over in the process. The referee is down. They trampled over one of the officials. They are ruling it a catch at the 24-yard line. Officials, the sideline officials, the trainers for McKinney North and Denison are coming out. Alicia Leal and Richard Womble, the trainers, coming out to make sure the official is okay.
Well, he just turned his own ankle. It was nothing that happened. He was already on the ground as the play was coming to him. He just wasn't ready to make a quick turn. I think his ankle gave out on him. And having weak ankles, I know what that's about.
Absolutely. I played too much basketball myself. The official is okay. He's walking off the field. You know, hey, does he have to sit out a play?
Well, I don't know if there's rules for the officials just as there are for the players. But he looks like he's going to be okay.
Cameron Buford came down with that great catch. And it will be first down and 10.
A 54-yard gain there. Puts him in great position.
Shotgun formation for Herbal. He's going to hand off on the reverse to Cameron Eubanks. Has a move. Cuts it to the 20, 15, 10, 5. It is touchdown time in Texas. McKinney North sticks it in the end zone first. Puts it on the scoreboard. It is 6-0. McKinney North over Denison.
All that was a simple, again, quarterback option play. He has the option of giving it off to Eubanks in that situation, going right to left, or he can take it himself. Gave it to Eubanks going off the left side. And what happens in that situation is great blocking up front and a 24-yard touchdown.
You can stick that in your end zone and put it on your scoreboard. 6-0, McKinney North. Blake Boblitz coming on for the PAT. Last year, 34 out of 35. And this year, he is 1 out of 1. 7-0. McKinney North leads over Denison. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We're getting ready for the Beef O'Brady's kickoff. It was a Cameron Buford catch, a 54-yard catch that set up the Cameron Eubanks 24-yard touchdown run. There has been a minute 24 off the clock.
Well, did you see what they just did? They faked the onside kick, and what they did is they had Cameron Eubanks all the way out, and there wasn't a single Sherman Yellow Jacket.
Sherman?
Or Denison, pardon me.
Here's the kick all the way back in the end zone. Boblitz boots. It's going to be taken deep across the 10, 20, 25, and this time nobody named Corey Robertson runs it back on the initial kickoff. It is down at the 27-yard line.
Well, wedge set up perfectly there for Denison. And the returner able to find a clear lane just to slice through the middle. It's a perfect example of how the wedge works, and hope for some missed tackles.
After this first play, we're going to give you the McKinney North starting defense, the dog defense. 10:29 left on the clock here in the first quarter. McKinney North up 7-0 on the Cameron Eubanks 24-yard touchdown run. Denison, here we go. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 man in the backfield. This is not the power eye that we're used to seeing from Denison. Stanley Morrison, the quarterback in shotgun formation. He rolls left side, wants to carry it himself. He does. He crosses the 30 and down right there. Morrison had nowhere to go, and maybe that Kenny Duck defense has rejuvenated itself as a gain of 2 yards on first down. I think you'll take that just about every time from your DPD.
Well, it's just like I said in the pregame show. The linebacking core for this North team is going to have to be the leaders, and that's what the case there. They ran simple pursuit right side and were able to get the quarterback after minimal gain.
3 receivers to the right. And this is a handoff up the middle, and that's Joe Haley. Haley gains about 6 yards, going to be close to the first, about 2 yards short. It'll set up a third down and short. Third down, it says 1 on the board, but it's closer to 2, I believe.
That'd be a long one.
2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Man in the backfield standing next to Stanley Morrison. There is a flag on the play. McKinney North is very happy. False start on Denison. Coach Bob Brown across the sidelines is not very happy. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. Or 3rd down and really 7.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, if you're going with the long one or the short 2. But in that situation, what happened there is McKinney shifted on their line to go to the strength side of the formation. And when they did that, there was a small flinch, small but noticeable flinch from the Denison offensive line, and they drew the penalty flag.
3rd down and 7 here. 2 receivers to the right side, and this is a shotgun formation. There are flags. Once again, McKinney North says it is on Denison once again, and I believe it is.
Well, it's the same thing again. The defensive line shifting to strength side, which in this case was left of their defensive formation, and when they moved to go to that side, one of the Denison offensive linemen flinched again.
Well, 3rd down and a truckload now as Denison keeps shooting themselves in the foot. 3rd down, and it'll be 12 yards to go. as Stanley Morrison stands in the backfield along with Joe Haley.
Well, definitely a passing situation now.
And we're supposed to see a lot of that from Denison this year. Shotgun formation. Handoff Joe Haley. It's the reverse coming near side. 25 cuts it inside to the 30. Looking for room. He may have the first down. It's going to be very close. Ball comes out. They're going to mark him down, however. And the ball carrier on that play was Stanley Morrison, the quarterback. It was a reverse. He handed off to Haley. Morrison stood there, came back around, took the handoff, and is going to be very close to the first down and has it.
Well, give credit there to the cornerback for the Bulldog defense on that right side, Bo Burns. He was put on a juke, and he didn't go for it. He didn't make the tackle, though, but the ball carrier had to cut it to the inside, preventing a long gain.
First down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Two receivers to the right side. Morrison, shovel pass inside. That's the fullback, Joe Haley, barrels his way close to another first down, gain of 9. 8:33 and rolling here in the first quarter. McKinney North Bulldogs on top 7-0. And the Yellow Jackets are charging. They just crossed or just got near the midfield stripe, just a yard short.
Yellow Jackets at the Denison 49-yard line.
Second down and 1. Look to air it out here. Two men standing on either side of Stanley Morrison. Curly Ray Jackson gets the handoff. Running left side. Makes a cut. Has the first down. Crosses midfield at the 48-yard line in McKinney North territory. It'll be 1st and 10 once again with 8:02 left to go in the first.
Well, we're relatively early in this series, but already 4 Denison Yellow Jackets have run the football and yet to see a true pass. Shovel pass is technically a run, so there's still not a forward pass thrown by the spread offense.
Three receivers to the right. Joe Haley in the backfield along with Stanley Morrison. Barking signals. Shotgun formation. Gets it. Handed off. Joe Haley up the middle. Trying to break tackles, and finally James San Miguel brings him down, the 5'8", 180-pound senior, but Haley gains another 5 yards near the 40-yard mark out to the 44.
Already 19 yards for young Joe Haley on 3 carries.
We're going to talk to Teddy Sappho momentarily and see how things are looking down there as it is 2nd down and 6. We still haven't given you the Bulldogs starting defense, and we'll do that momentarily, not after this play, but we'll do it in a moment. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. It is Joe Haley in the backfield standing to the right of Stanley Morrison. Low snap, wants to hand it off. Now Morrison's going to keep it right side. Breaks a tackle. He's up to the 30, crosses the 30 to 25, and finally brought down by Bo Burns, but it took 2 or 3 alongside Burns to bring him down.
Well, again, yet to see a pass. What they're doing is they're doing a lot of misdirection offense, meaning that there's a lot of options for the quarterback, Stanley Morrison, to do. He can hand it off, keep it, or he can take a pass, and it looks like they're confident to take the run.
We're going to give you the dog defense right after this play, I promise. Here's the first down play. It's going to be a handoff. Joe Haley running left tackle and is touched immediately by Kirsten Williams and brought down. Let's give you the starting lineup for the McKinney North Bulldogs. 2nd down and 6. Morrison wants to throw it, and it is caught and dropped at the 15-yard line, trying to find his receiver over there. And early on in the season, some guys have switched numbers. And that one looks like it's Joey Wagner. Wagner is his intended receiver out there, and it was incomplete. Right, he threw it in a bad spot, right in between the 1 and the 6 on Mr. Number 16. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation. Haley in the backfield. Morrison wants to run it. It's a trap up the middle and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Kirsten Williams drags him down, but I believe he had a little bit of the face mask. And I think that's what they're going to call.
Oh, I don't know about that one because the quarterback, Morrison, had open field ahead of him. I thought it was a collar tackle on the back of the shoulder pads, and they're talking it over right now. Normally this is not a long conference when there's something like that, so we'll wait to see if that's what they go with.
They are going to call a personal foul against Kirsten Williams. That will be the 15-yard variety, and that one hurts.
So the run counts and then tack on 15.
Penalty is assessed half the distance to goal.
First down and 10 at the 11. 6:04 left to go here in the first quarter. You have to give it to Coach Bob Brown and those guys across the sidelines. This formation looks okay. They're running a lot of different variations of it, and now here they come with Old Denison. Power I 2 tight set. Stanley Morrison, hands off. That's Curly Ray Jackson to the 5, dragging people near the end zone, and he's down at about the 3-yard line. He's going to be denied because of the tackling gang. Derek Corey and company out there.
One of the things that makes the spread offense work is you spread the defense out to cover the entire formation, and that doesn't work necessarily well once you get inside the 20 because you start to run out of real estate. You don't have 50 yards behind you. You only have the 30, including the end zone. So then they go back to Old Reliable in the Power I.
This is Bob Brown classic right here. Double I or Power I, 2 tight set. Haley in the backfield along with Curly Ray Jackson. Hands to him, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing for Curly Ray Jackson in his imitation of Corey Robertson. It wasn't a very good one. 4:59 left to go in the first quarter.
Defensive line needs to come up big here. Again, this is where McKinney North's defense really needs to step it up, particularly on the line, because they're letting some of the offensive linemen of Denison get to the linebacking core, not letting them use their quickness to cover the field.
Timeout on the play. We'll take 1-2. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Power I 2 tight set. The Denison Yellow Jackets are denied at the 3-yard line once again. They may have made it to the 2, but another big play there by that DPD, the Dog Pound defense. 4:20 left to go in the first quarter. The Dogs have a 7-0 lead, the Dogs of McKinney North, I should say, and it's going to be a 4th and 2 situation early on. This could be a big play here in this football game real early.
Well, they tried to give it to Curly Jackson, who's had one really good carry and then a couple that haven't been so great, only 1-yard gains, but right now at 1.5 yards is what they need.
Here we go. Power I, 2 tight set, 4th down. And it's going to be a handoff. Curly Ray Jackson fights and pushes his way through to the end zone. It is a touchdown for Denison. 7-6, McKinney North leads in this football game, but the PAT should tie it.
Well, it looked like Kenny Alexander, the linebacker, on the weak side there, had him in the backfield, but, you know, Curly Ray Jackson, that's a big load to bring down.
I thought for a moment he was going to be denied. He was in the backfield, and then he kept fighting, and finally pushed his way through to the end zone. That is a huge play as they line up in the swinging gate here. Denison has done that for years and years. Now they will come back over in their normal extra point position. The kicker, Kevin Holtzbach, is on to kick. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-7, McKinney North and Denison are tied. 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. Denison just scored on a 2-yard Curly Ray Jackson touchdown after Cameron Eubanks ran a 24-yard touchdown before. And right now we're all knotted up. 3:50 left to go in the first.
Well, all that means is Denison held serve on their first offensive possession, so we're back in a tie ball game. Kenny North is showing some explosiveness on their first series, so they'll get a chance to try to answer the opening possession of the Yellow Jackets.
You know, you called him Sherman a while ago. Do you have any idea?
Oh, I know. I'm hated right now if there's Denison fans listening. I understand.
The old battle of the axe, Sherman versus Denison. That's them there's fighting words, as they say.
One of the more heated rivalries in the state.
Here's the Beef O'Brady's kickoff for Denison. It is going to be Holtzbach who's going to pooch it down the field once again. It's end-over-end kick going to be taken by Cameron Eubanks once again. 25 comes out to the 30 and going to go down right there at the 30-yard line. Denison had pretty good coverage on that one. On the stop for Denison was Joey Wagner.
Well, that might be a situation where you want one of your upbacks hopping on it because that bounced through a couple of upbacks in between the 30 and 35, and they just fall on it there. That's almost 5 to 10 yards of better field position just to start off with. Just, you know, not asking them to pick it up and return it, just fall on it, and then you get this ball beyond the 35.
Herbal comes back out, brings his troops with 3:45 left to go in the first. It is Eubanks on the far side, along with David Douglas. On the near side, a new receiver into the game is Aiden Williams. This is going to be a handoff up the middle. Chase Barrett gets his first carry as a varsity running back, and it goes absolutely nowhere. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. He might have gained a yard. We'll have to check and see. They're going to spot the ball right at the 27-yard line, so actually a gain of 1. 3:25 and rolling in the first quarter. We're all knotted up, 7-7. McKinney North on the field with their offensive unit, Eric Herbal in shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right. Chase Barrett stands to his left. Sends a man in motion. That's Eubanks going left side. Flags on the play. More than likely it's offsides McKinney North, and it's been a little sloppy.
Well, again, what you expect out of your first non-district game. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. This is why you play your non-district games at the beginning and then your district games at the end, because you're going to try to find what works, what doesn't, and iron them out for the district games.
Coach Sean Pratt trying to find a way to get some consistency with this team. He's 9-21 as a head coach entering his 5th year. Eubanks goes in motion once again. They're going to fake it to him, and Herbal is dropped in the backfield. Significant loss there. He's going to be marked down at the 20-yard line. A loss of about 2, I guess. Well, they're going to now mark it at the 19. So it'll be 3rd down and 17 for McKinney North with 2:37 here to go in the first. Denison running that what basically amounts to a stacked defense, a 4-4, sending 4 linebackers out. Here's 2 receivers to the near side. Eubanks goes in motion once again. This time they fake it to him. They're going to throw it down the middle. A man is there. He is bumped, and there is a flag. The receiver on the play, Paul Stanko, probably looked like he would have come down with the ball, but he was bumped a little bit by the safety back there, and flags were immediately thrown. And the defender on the play was Calvin Dotson, and Dotson got there a little bit too early.
Well, Bob Brown could make the case he wanted to of incidental contact. The defender does have the right to go for the ball. However, if he's going forward any at all and touches the receiver, that is indeed pass interference. So it's got to be a situation where the ref says, or the official says he's going forward, made contact, throw the flag, and that's a fairly easy call, but still not an easy one at best.
Coach Brown not real happy. He is actually, I can see him mouthing some words over there. He's not real happy.
He could make a case. He could.
It'll be 1st down and 10 after the penalty. And the McKinney North Bulldogs will have the ball at their own 34-yard line, 33 call it. 2 receivers near side, Eubanks in the slot. Now he goes in motion from right to left. Herbal back to pass, looking for, has all kinds of time. Now tucks it and runs, trying to find a block, doesn't get it, and is going to be down at the 36, maybe 37-yard line. If he had Barbosa's speed, maybe, he might have been able to turn that into a big gainer.
Well, he had a receiver downfield at Williams, but the pressure from the Denison Yellow Jacket defensive line forced him to step out just a second before he wanted to. Before he would have seen Atten Williams streaking down, doing a post pattern on the right sideline. He had 2 steps on his defender.
Nathan Glenn, the defensive end, was right in his face. Herbal is in shotgun formation. He is going to hand off up the middle. Chase Barrett flags down again. Eubanks was in motion, ran behind Herbal that time. And we'll check the penalty. It is a false start against the McKinney North Bulldogs. So this is very, very sloppy early going in the first quarter in the very first game of this season.
Some concern right now for the North. That's their 4th penalty. It's mounted into 30 yards worth of setback.
Ball will be at the 32-yard line, 33 rather, as Aiden Williams will come to the near side. Eubanks in the slot on the far side, moving left to right on the radio dial. Also split out wide is David Douglas, shotgun back. Yep, is there flags again? Flag on the play once again, and McKinney North can't get the ball snapped.
If you're the quarterback, the left side of the offensive line moved just a hair earlier before the snap.
Let's check now with Teddy Sappho on the sidelines. Teddy, what do you think the reason is? Are they just not into it? Or are they just what's your philosophy down there?
The team is just rather disorganized. It's very sloppy play right now. Every single time they get a false start called on them, it's because 2 receivers are moving at the same time, and that has been a problem with the offense so far. Back to you, Monty and Brandon.
Hey, thanks a lot, Teddy. Great job. One receiver to the near side, two to the left. Back to pass is Herbal, looking over the middle, now trying to scramble up the middle. Has the 30, 35, and near the 40-yard line before he's finally brought down. Gets back to the 40, which they only need about 5 yards for the first now. It was about an 11-yard pickup on the play with 1:18 left to go in the first.
A little nifty move. He did a little high step when one of the linebackers tried to swipe his feet from behind, just brought up the legs, did a little knee action, was finally taken down by a host of the Yellow Jacket defenders.
Two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. It is Ayton Williams. The split out wide right, Cameron Eubanks in the slot to the right. Shotgun formation, somebody moved early there. Handoff, Chase Barrett running up the middle, is popped at the 45-yard line. Still going somehow, crosses midfield, first down into Denison territory at the 48-yard line.
12-yard gain for Barrett. We used the pinball analogy yesterday. He didn't bounce off anybody this time. Threw a couple of defenders on his way to crossing the 50 and inside Yellow Jacket territory.
Making the Denison Yellow Jackets long for golden years. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line in Denison territory. 37 seconds before the expiration of the first quarter. Two receivers near side. Eubanks now goes in motion. They're going to fake the hand to him. Handoff, Barrett up the middle once again. Gaining some yardage, crosses the 45 down to the 44-yard line. 22 seconds before the end of the quarter. We're all knotted up 7-7, McKinney North and Denison.
Possibly a bigger gain had he not left his feet. He tried to jump over the pile, and running back coaches will always tell you, don't leave your feet, because what happens when you're in the air, it's an easy tackle for a defender just by lifting an arm up and knocking your balance off.
Second down and 6. Two receivers either side. Eubanks goes in motion. High snap, bobbled by Herbal, picks it up, runs close to the first down, and he has it. Time has expired in the first quarter. It was a nifty run by Herbal. It's going to be first down for the Bulldogs when we come back. It's a tie ball game, 7-7. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms, all knotted up 7-7. A great ball game entering the second quarter here. McKinney North driving, had a great run just then by Eric Herbal to pick up the first down inside deep McKinney territory.
Well, I asked you during the break if you're missing Barbosa just yet. The reason why, Herbal on the ground, 5 carries, is able to gain him 17 yards on the play, or rather 23 yards, but he's 1 for 2 passing, 54 yards. That's a pretty efficient line.
You know, we were told last year, I was up here in the exact same spot, and one of the assistant coaches from McKinney North told me that this Eric Herbal kid can really be a stud, and I believe he is well on his way. Brand new quarter, second quarter, Herbal back to pass, shotgun formation, looking downfield, throws it in the end zone and overshoots his receiver. He just lofted it out in front of him by about 3 or 4 yards. That was Ayton Williams trying to race underneath that ball. Wasn't able to do it as Herbal was just a bit tardy, or just a bit actually in front of him.
Well, I mentioned that play at the very beginning of this drive here when Herbal had to tuck it up a second too soon. That was the same play, same pass formation. I think the coaches made note of that one, tried to do it there. However, just a bit more well defended by the Yellow Jacket defense.
This is Eubanks in motion, and he's going to get the handoff coming on the reverse. Cuts it up inside 30, and is going to be finally dragged down at the 27-yard line. A nice gain there. He is going to be very close to the first down, and this might even be a measurement. Teddy, we might check with your perspective. And I think they're going to move the chains. I'm sure that's what Teddy was going to say anyway. He was right on the money all night last night, wasn't he, Brandon?
Yeah, I can't expect more out of a sideline reporter than what Teddy delivered with us yesterday.
First down and 10, 11:33 left to go in the second quarter. Shotgun formation, Chase Barrett stands to Herbal's left. Going to hand off Barrett up the middle, trying to find some room across the 25. A helmet is knocked off over here on the near sideline. Some scuffling going on. I don't think it was unnecessary scuffling. I think it was one of those where both guys were trying to block each other and really got aggressive. Nathan Glenn was the blocker, or actually the defender over for the Yellow Jackets. Kind of got into it with Ryan Burke, I believe.
Actually, Brett Davis was there, and that's just offensive lineman, defensive lineman going at it.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Herbal looking right side, trying to find Aiden Williams over there and overshoots him. It will be an incomplete pass, 3rd down and 10 with 10:50 left to go in the second quarter. You know, one thing we haven't mentioned, they are well within Blake Boblett's range right here at the 26-yard line. Boblett's last year, 5 field goals, 34 out of 35 on the PATs. He's 1 out of 1 tonight.
Well, they consider him the best kicker in the district, and there's a good reason for that.
He is a 3-year starter at the position, and the North absolutely hopes that they don't have to get to that point because they'd like to pick up the first down here. 3rd and 10, 10:50 left to go in the first. Eubanks goes in motion, handoff. Chase Barrett is met right at the line of scrimmage and brought down there. It was a great play by the middle linebacker, Tony Odom, as he stepped it up, dropped him right at the line of scrimmage. Might have been a gain of 1 as they're going to mark it at about the 24-yard line.
Well, what it looked like they were trying to do there was just get a little bit more range for Blaublitz, Blaublitz, the kicker, and they did.
Here's the kick, and we've been talking about how good Boblitz is so far, and we might have jinxed him a little bit. It barely made it over the line. He kind of kicked it off the side of its foot. No good. So we'll exchange sides right here. Boblitz, I think he just got a little bit on the inside of that football and maybe, a little jitters the first game of the season. He's got a lot of hype surrounding him. I'm sure there's a lot of scouts talking to him right now from colleges because he is a 3-year starter.
And don't expect to see that type of kick very often from the guy. Probably just opening game jitters, first time he's out there on the field attempting a kick, and the PAT looked much, much more stereotypical of what you'd like out of your kicker. That one, like you said, I think he just shanked it.
3 receivers to the left side, actually, on the far sideline. Denison now moving left to right on the radio dial. Stanley Morrison kicks his leg, wants the ball. Shotgun formation, doesn't move. Now throws it out left side, caught at the 30 and down almost immediately. And now he surges and fights for more yards and goes out to the 35-yard line, very close to a first down. They're going to mark him inside the chain, and we'll see if they move the chains, and now they do. Well, we're going to give Teddy a chance to hit one of those here in a little bit.
Denison 35-yard line.
First down and 10, 10:05 left to go in the first quarter. Stanley Morrison, the quarterback, in the backfield with Joe Haley standing to his right side. Morrison rolling right, wants to throw it, fires it to him, and it's popped at the 34-yard line. The ball is incomplete. It was a great play by Cole Permetter. The cornerback stood up at the 33-yard line and just popped the receiver.
Well, and that's a situation where that's all credited to Permetter there. On the attempted reception, Joey Wagner had his back to him, brought it in just like you'd expect the receiver to do, but was hit in the back, popped pretty hard, and the ball came out.
Teddy, talk to us about, after this play, I want to know about that hit. You were right there. I want to know how it sounded down there on the field. Now they're going to move to the other hash mark, and it is 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. We're going to throw it down to Teddy. I want to hear what that was about. 9:51 left to go in the first quarter. All knotted up, 7-7. Stanley Morrison rolling right side, pitches it on the shovel pass inside to Joe Haley. Nothing doing there, and he picks up maybe a yard on the play. Teddy, talk about that hit. It was a big one down there, wasn't it?
Phenomenal hit. Now, the controversy was, did he catch it or not? He did not have it in his hands long enough for it to be considered a catch. The defender got there right in time and knocked the ball out, but it was a powerful hit. You could hear this thing. You could hear that hit right from the stands. It was an incredible hit, Monty.
Thanks a lot, Teddy. 2 receivers out right side, or either side, actually. One man in the backfield is Haley. Morrison, the quarterback, lifts his leg, wants the ball, lifts it twice, pumps right, throws left, looking for a man, and then he undershoots him. And is it a catch? I can't tell. There's a flag down on the far sideline. He was trying to hit his wide receiver out there, Joseph Somo. Somo thought it was a catch. There's a flag down.
And I think you've got 2 issues going on here. First, I believe McKinney was offsides on the defensive line. It was a 2 count, and I believe one of the guys jumped into the neutral zone. And then they're going to get out there on the right side Bo Burns for a pass interference. And so now the referees are conferencing with the captains for Denison, trying to figure out what's going to stick and what's not, what they're going to take and what they're not.
I think they weren't. initially I thought they were going to rule it a catch. It's hard to see from far across the field.
Flag against the Bulldogs.
It is against it is an infraction against the Bulldogs.
They got an illegal procedure.
Ball. No
What they're
flag.
saying, the ball was tipped, Monty, and therefore there's no pass interference when the ball is tipped. And then there was an illegal procedure on Denison's offense before the play, which then would negate it all. So while it looked pretty bad there for North just for a minute, now all of a sudden with the 3rd and long, it's looking pretty good.
3rd down and 13 for the Yellow Jackets. 9:08 left to go in the second quarter. 7-7. Joe Haley in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That is Somo split out wide left. And in the slot position for Denison is Calvin Dotson. Split out wide right is Kevin Holtzbach. The officials are trying to get the clocks right. Talking on the field with some of the captains there, now setting the ball. There is 9:08. Now they're trying to figure out where they're going to spot the ball, and they bring it back to the original play. It was 3rd down and 8 earlier before that play, and they're just going to redo the down.
Yellow Jackets is declined. 4th down and 8.
Oh, they declined it, so they didn't take the penalty at all.
So loss of down, actually. A 4th down and 8 play here. Denison is not in punt formation as of now. There's still confusion on the far sideline.
Well, there's still confusion up here, too.
Coach Brown was really in the ear of the official trying to find out exactly what was going on there.
He's probably not happy with the incidental contact call.
Now the punt team will come out for Denison. Coach Bob Brown furious on that far sideline. He's going to call a timeout. I think he wants to talk to the official just a little bit more. We're going to take a timeout, too. 9:08 left to go in the second quarter, all knotted up. 7-7, McKinney North and the Denison Yellow Jackets on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms.
37-yard line.
It is back deep to punt is Rex Petty. Petty will go back deep to punt for the Yellow Jackets. And back deep is Kenny McGowan for the McKinney North Bulldogs, standing at his own 30-yard line. New punter for Denison this year. We'll see exactly what he has as he boots it away. It's a low spiraling kick, bounces at the 38-yard line, still bouncing now inside the 30, inside the 25, rolling towards the 20, and it is going to be dead at the 20-yard line. A great punt there. There is a flag at the 39-yard line, Brandon.
I was watching it downfield, and there was a couple of Denison Yellow Jackets and North Bulldogs tangling it up, and toward the end of the play, way far away from the action, Scott Jordan hit the ground, so I think you're going to get a personal foul on the North and set him back, well, in this case, it'd be half the distance to the goal, so 10 yards.
Teddy Sappho, you're down there right on the sidelines. You're amongst all the players. How is the mood down there? What can you tell from the players' reactions from the things going on?
Well, so far tonight, especially the penalties, Coach Pratt has been down here trying to keep his team focused and trying to keep his team to actually make sure that they stay on top of their assignments and keep focused, especially because earlier they've had many penalties already, and right now they just there's a personal foul infraction. He's trying to keep his players away from the penalties and trying to keep head straight.
All right, thanks, Teddy. That's the fifth penalty now on McKinney North for 40 yards and setbacks, and that puts the ball 1st and 10 for McKinney North down at the 10-yard line. Again, standard formation, receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun Herbal scanning the defense, in motion right to left. Handoff up the middle, up to the line of scrimmage and no more. That was Chase Barrett getting tackled by the defensive line of Denison, and bring up 2nd and 10.
No gain on the carry. 2nd down and 10, Bulldogs.
8:35 and rolling now here in the second quarter. All tied up 7-7. Herbal, the quarterback, on 2nd down and 10. Sends 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Blake Boblitz is split out wide to the left. Chase Barrett in the backfield. Here's the handoff to the reverse once again. That's Maxwell, has the corner, gets out to the 20-yard line, is going to be brought down Well, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 17.
Max Butler on
Nice
the
solid gain of 7 yards on the second down there. Exactly what you need. You're not looking for any barn burner there deep in your own territory. You're just looking to push the ball forward.
It's the same exact play that they scored on earlier when Cameron Eubanks was in the ball game on that 24-yard touchdown. That was McKinney North's only score. Denison has one score on a Curly Ray Jackson 2-yard touchdown. And that's all the scoring tonight, 7-7 in the second quarter, 8:14 left to go before half. Blake Boblet split to the near side, moving right to left on the radio dial. This is Herbal back to pass, firing incomplete. He was trying to find Max Butler out there in the flats and just overshot him just a little bit.
Now 3 straight incompletions for the quarterback, and that's the first 3 and out from the North offense tonight.
It will be punting time for the McKinney North Bulldogs, and back to punt will be Brandon Dunn.
Spells his name like I do.
And Dunn is actually going to replace Troy Cates. This is a bad snap. Good thing there were flags on the play, and somebody might have called a timeout. There was the snap went way over the head of Brandon Dunn, and that's a problem that they had, and that's a problem that McKinney North had in the scrimmage against Sherman last week. They actually would have won the half if it weren't for that. We're going to take a quick timeout as McKinney North does. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM.
All right, back to action here at McKinney ISD Stadium. Brandon Dunn back to punt for the North Bulldogs. Snap good. Here's the punt. High rush, but able to avoid it. Kick is up, short kick, and now bounces back toward McKinney territory, and it's pounced on quickly at the 32. Not a good punt from Dunn, but he had a huge rush in his face, and Denison going to be set up in good territory at the McKinney 32.
We got to get you educated on North Texas there, Brandon.
It's confusing the rivalry. I know these two teams hate each other, and so it's always been Sherman-Denison in my mind.
Well, the good thing about that punt, I guess, was the snap was back. It was okay. It wasn't over the head, and that's something that McKinney North has probably been working on a lot this week after the scrimmage against Sherman last week. I shouldn't say Sherman anymore because it'll throw you off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't need any more help.
First down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. After the not-so-good punt, it's deep in McKinney North territory. This is a new quarterback. Rolls out left, throws it out, caught and dropped immediately. Gain of 10 right at the first down marker. It was the receiver for Denison, Joseph Somo, made the catch. The new quarterback in for the Yellow Jackets was Jordan Scott.
Tackled by Austin Atwell.
Don't know exactly what happened to Stanley Morrison.
Well, they did say in their report that they're going to try to get a lot of guys in action because their depth is fairly unproven, so this just may be a case of trying to get new faces in the lineup.
Well, Scott stands in shotgun formation, kicks, wants to snap, and he gets it. It's a good snap, and this is going to be a handoff to Haley up the middle, gaining great yardage out to about the 16-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 17, gain of 5, and Joe Haley is a big, powerful back. He had his best game of the year against McKinney North last year, had over 100 yards.
Well, he only has 29 tonight on 6 carries, but so far he's the leading rusher for the Yellow Jackets.
2 receivers out. Far side for Denison, moving left to right on the radio dial, trying to punch it in that north end zone here at McKinney ISD Stadium. Jordan Scott gets the snap, rolls out left side, looking for somebody to throw to. He's at the 21, now tucks it up to the 20, has some room, crosses the 15, is going to go down inside the 15 at about the 14-yard lines where they're going to mark him. It'll be third down and fairly short, about 3 yards to get the first.
So a 2-yard pickup there by the quarterback. Good pursuit by the defense, but more importantly, good coverage in the secondary as Scott didn't have anybody to throw to right away and then tried to tuck it, and the pursuit of the linebackers cut him down.
Teddy Sappho down on the sideline. How far have we got to go to get that first down?
About 2-3 yards to go to get the first down. But right now, Coach Prater's rallied his defense to try and stop this Denison drive.
Power eye, 2 tight set. The old Denison formation, toss right. Curly Ray Jackson shuffles his way through to the McKinney North end zone. It is a touchdown for Denison, the old power eye, 2 tight set. They have scored twice on that, and Bob Brown's got to be happy. They take the lead 13-7. 6:01 left to go in the second quarter. Curly Ray Jackson. Isn't that a typical Denison Yellow Jacket name for a running back?
That's just a great football name in itself.
When I hear Curly Ray Jackson, I automatically think of the Denison Yellow Jackets.
Well, again, that's an example of the spread offense not working very well. Saw Jordan Scott try to take it up, only gained 2. They go back to good old faithful, and he gets in the touchdown.
Here is Holtzbach back for the PAT, and he's going to nail it through. 14-7, Denison takes the lead with 6:01 left to go before half. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho. Teddy, let's check down with you. Let's talk about the energy of the McKinney North Bulldogs. They gave up some pretty, the punt set it up, but how are they feeling down there? What's the mood of the team?
Well, the mood, they're trying to keep their spirits high right now because on that last 3rd and 2 when Denison scored, they had a very good chance of stopping them, but the running back, he ran into the end zone untouched. So Coach Pratt, he's not excited about that. Now the defensive coaches and the kickoff return coaches have talked to the players and told them, look, right now they're going to squib kick this ball. So if possible, just pick up as quickly as possible so we don't get pinned deep in our end. Back to you, Monty and Brandon.
Thanks a lot, Teddy. Back deep is Cameron Eubanks alongside Ayton Williams. They're not going to squib it. This is straight at Cameron Eubanks at the 5-yard line. Crosses the 20 and is knocked down hard at the 17-yard line. A big hit by one of the Yellow Jackets. And over there to make that big hit for the Jackets is O.J. Johnson. Johnson laid the wood on Cameron Eubanks.
Perfect coverage from Denison as they just swarmed down the field, busted up the wedge. And before Eubanks knew it, there were 3-4 gold jerseys already in his face.
5:57 left to go here before the half. I think McKinney North has got to feel some urgency here to try to answer back immediately and try to get the ball in the end zone. Unfortunately, they have to go a lot further.
9 on the play.
Chase Barrett, a gain of 9 on the play. A run right up the middle. 2nd down and 1. Shotgun formation, handoff. Barrett once again has first down, crosses the 30, 35, 40, look out, 30, 45, 50, and finally brought down across the midfield stripe. A great run by Chase Barrett, and it is first down, McKinney North.
Well, that's now 50 yards on the day for Chase Barrett, more specifically 53 with that long gain of 27.
1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Denison 47-yard line.
First down and 10, 5:15 and rolling. We talked about McKinney North having that sense of urgency here, trying to answer back to Denison. 14-7, Denison on top, 5:06 left to go before half. Handoff, Chase Barrett once again crosses the 45 down to the 42-yard line, and once they've opened up the reins for Chase Barrett, it's been cruise time here for McKinney North so far.
Well, getting close to 60 now at 59, but this is important for McKinney North. They have no momentum on their side before this drive started. Now that big run by Barrett injects a little enthusiasm back into the team, and they're going to need it. They're only down a touchdown, but driving.
If they can keep Denison on the field, it works in their favor. Sherrick Thompson, the defensive end, sucking wins right now. Eric Herbel throws out the swing pass to Eubanks at the 40, 35 and out of bounds after he crosses the first down marker at the 34-yard line. 4 minutes, 26 seconds left to go before half. McKinney North trying to fight their way into this end zone. Remember, they have a great weapon in Blake Boblitz. I know he kind of shanked that first field goal attempt, but that's not going to happen a lot for Blake Boblitz.
Well, just again, early season jitters in your first game, your first field goal. A lot of hype has been placed on you. Just a little nervous, no big deal.
Right to left on the radio dial, McKinney North going towards that south end zone. 4:26 on the clock. Shotgun formation. Eubanks goes in motion, hands off to him. Now he's going to fake it. Herbel goes up the middle, crosses the 30, 25, still on his feet. Goodness. Eric Herbel acting like Superman, not going down out to the 22-yard line.
And that's now 34 yards on the ground for the quarterback, Herbel there, just moving up. Again, a quarterback option on that play. He decided to tuck it up after the end committed up and had a nice little hole to run through.
Last year on the season, Leonard Barbosa rushed for 475 yards and scored 12 touchdowns on the ground. Eric Herbal trying to act like Barbosa here. Handoff, Eubanks running near side, crosses the 25, 20, 15, cuts it back inside, 5. You can stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. It is touchdown time in Texas.
All right, here's a little trivia question for you. Cameron Eubanks scored 24 yards out his first touchdown, 23 yards out on his second.
Cameron Eubanks scores on that same play twice tonight. 4:01 left to go. The PAT would tie it. Right now, McKinney North down 14-13. And Eubanks will step it off. Boblitz, the tee is down, and the kick is good. 14-14, tie ball game. 4:01 left to go before half. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms, Teddy Sappho on the sidelines. Quickly, Teddy, give us a little report on that.
Once the McKinney Bulldogs got some momentum, you just noticed that the offensive line was starting to open up the holes, because as you noticed on that drive, it was mainly Cameron Eubanks and Chase Barrett that were running the ball. And once the offensive line opened up, they were able to move the ball down the field. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Teddy Sappho. Getting ready for the Beef O'Brady's. Thought it was going to be a Beef O'Brady's onside
Well,
kick.
did you see that again?
They run that quail onside. It's kind of what that is what we used to call it.
And they had a cover man on the far side that's not covered. That's an onside. That could work.
Boblitz kicks it deep, and it will be taken by the very deep man. He's going to cross the 15, 20, 25, 30, big hole out to across the 33, down at the 34-yard, still fighting. And finally taken down right about the 35-yard line. I believe that's Curly Ray Jackson. And it was. Nice return out to the 35-yard line. 3:52 left to go before the half. We're all knotted up 14-14. Hey, we want to say thanks to Germain Designs over there in Denison, Texas. They provided our uniforms once again this year. I had several people at Beef O'Brady's the other night at the coaches show ask me where I got these things, because
these are snazzy.
They are very snazzy. And the good thing about them is you can kind of sweat through them. They don't get real heavy. They have the logos and everything. Call Germain Designs down in Denison, Texas. They'll get you one. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left, shotgun formation. This is Morrison back in the ball game at quarterback. He pitches it out to Joe Haley. Not much doing there. He's going to get out to the 35-yard line. You know, this McKinney North defense actually has done a great job tonight of containing the Denison Yellow Jacket offense.
Yeah, the contain for the defense has done a good job and not letting anything get outside of them. The problem is there's been a couple of holes. The Bulldog defense is going to need the defensive tackle combination, or actually the nose guard, Kirsten Williams, to step it up, and then the tackles, Micah Moore and Ryan Shelby, to keep on their man.
Two receivers to the near side, two to the far side. Stanley Morrison gets the shotgun, looking right side, wants to throw it out, has a man in the flats. It is caught, and it is close to the first down marker. A nice pass and catch there from Morrison out to one of his receivers over there, and that is the tight end, I believe, Brian Baldwin, who makes the catch there. 3:05 left to go before half.
First down, Yellow Jackets.
The Jackets trying to score here before half. We've got some scores coming in. Keller Central getting pounded by Justin Northwest, 47-0. 47-0. Wow. Three receivers near side, one to the right. Stanley Morrison, shotgun formation, hands it off Joe Haley. Straight up the gut is going to be down after about a 5-yard line as he crosses the midfield stripe. It'll be second down and about 5. 2:41 enrolling here.
Joe Haley on the carry.
Trying to find some more of these scores. Berkner and Mesquite Horn knotted up at 7. Seagoville on top of Trimble Tech, 13-0. South Garland getting beat by Plano West, 14-7. Second down and 5. Denison trying to move towards that north end zone. Three receivers to the right side. McKinney North doing a great job so far tonight on defense. Morrison wants to tuck it and run. Knocked down at the 50 and now gets back up. Rolls to the near sideline. Is finally pushed out of bounds He's going to be very close to the first down. Teddy Sappho, you're on the marker. How close is he?
Past the marker. The referees are marking it right now as a first down.
They are moving the chains. Great job, Teddy. Teddy's 1 for 1 tonight. 2 minutes exactly on the clock before half.
Already improving on his average from yesterday.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stanley Morrison, the quarterback. Shotgun formation, flag on the play. Kirsten Williams pumping his arms a little bit as he believes this one is on Denison, and they are moving it back. It is a false start against Denison. I think that might have been the receiver over here, Kevin Holtzbach. Teddy, did you see who might have jumped over there? I think Teddy was maybe getting some nachos or something over there.
Yeah, from his perspective, it was hard to see.
1 receiver to either side. This is a tight end set on the left side, flanker over to the left. Stanley Morrison is going to roll left side, looking for someone to throw to. Now tucks it up and run. He's crossing the 50, lots of room. 40, 35, 30. Kenny McGowan trying to cut him off. Inside 10, 5. Touchdown, Denison. Denison scores on that long Stanley Morrison touchdown. It was a quarterback trap. Once he crossed the 50, hold everything, though. There's a flag at the 42-yard line.
Well, right now is it's a 49-yard touchdown, but touchdown's good according to the official.
Apparently it was against McKinney North. They're going to decline the penalty and take the touchdown. It was a great run. Like I was saying before I saw the flag, that once Morrison crossed that midfield stripe, he had all kinds of room. Kenny McGowan was the only man back there to try to stop him.
Well, he's taking advantage of the over-aggressive defense. He started rolling out to the left side. The pursuit for McKinney moved to that left side. Then he cut it back toward the right, and by the time he did that, McKinney tried to come back, but they just couldn't because their momentum was heading away from the ball carrier. Good field vision from Stanley Morrison, and then he made a great fake at the 15 and was able to juke the safety and just walk into the end zone. Oh, that's what happened. Personal foul on Denison after the play, assessed on the kickoff.
1:18 left to go before half. We'll have some halftime interviews very shortly with Teddy Sappho. We'll be talking with Rodney Williams of the McKinneySports.net, www.McKinneySports.net. Live scores and updates of this game right now. Here's the extra point. It is up. Long a wait for the signal, and it is good finally. Kevin Holtzbach nails it through. 21-14, Denison on top. 1:18 left to go before half. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. I almost said Jay Lindley.
Oh,
Jay's not with us anymore. Jay's doing some Oklahoma football this year.
Hey,
we wish him the best of luck.
I said Sherman, so I'll let you get away with calling me Jay.
Old Jay Lindley.
Now with that return music, I felt we needed to come back and say hello, I love you. We're at McKinney ISD Stadium.
Most definitely. 1:18 left to go here in the second quarter. Denison on top, 21-14. How about a nice return here from Cameron Eubanks?
Well, they're going to have to kick it off from the 25 thanks to that personal foul after the touchdown is scored. So McKinney North should get some good field position. Here comes the Beef O'Brady's kickoff.
The ball is up and in the air. It'll be Cameron Eubanks taking it at the 20. Crosses 25, 30, looking for some blocks near side. Has a lane, 40. Somebody was trying to strip the football back there. He's going to be down at the 43-yard line. One of the Denison Yellow Jacket defenders had a hold of the football. Justin Stapleton was trying to strip it. Eubanks did a great job of holding on to it and going down at the 43.
Well, because he tried to strip it, he didn't try to make the tackle, and if it wasn't for Nathan Green, who was right behind him, that's a touchdown. There was nobody behind him. Behind Nathan Green, that would have been a clear touchdown for Eubanks. As it is, McKinney North offense starts off with their best field position of the night.
They need to go 57 yards, and they have 1:11 to do it before half. 2 receivers to either side. The big tight end will stand as the flanker. Chase Barrett moves to the right side. Herbal rolling right. Now throws it out right side. Caught and dropped at the first down marker. And that was David Douglas, who juggled it a little bit. 1:05 left to go. Second down and 10. That was one of those where you'd like to have that one back, another shot at catching that one because it was in his fingertips.
Yeah, I think that was actually Atten Williams running a 10-yard out right at the sideline marker. That would have been perfect had he caught it. He'd been able to get the first down and step out of bounds to stop the clock. Well, the clock stopped anyway, but.
Here is Herbal throwing out left side, the fade route out of bounds. Nobody anywhere close except Blake Boblitz, and he just simply threw it away.
Well, that turned into a fade route because on the pattern there was Blake Boblitz. He was trying to run, again, that 5-yard out, but because there were 4 McKinney defenders there, Herbal had to just throw it up along the sideline and throw it away.
You know, and you like to see that from a young quarterback. He's a junior, and if he has the wherewithal to throw it out of bounds at times, that's good. Not a lot of kids have that.
Yeah, it's better to have a 3rd and 10 than a turnover.
And that's what it is, 3rd and 10 here. Herbal's shotgun dropping straight back, wants to fire it downfield, throws it and hammers it downfield. It may be caught, and it is. A great catch by Cameron Eubanks among traffic. How in the world did he come down with that ball?
I don't know, but a 25-yard gain will move the ball forward inside the 35 into field goal range.
That was very impressive. I thought there's no way this pass is going to be complete. As a matter of fact, I thought it might be picked off. Here's Herbal rolling right side, throwing to his big receiver, Cameron Buford, who catches it for another first down out inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
Another solid gain of 15 puts Herbal over 100 yards on the day. He's 104, and McKinney North is 41 seconds left, and they're inside the 20.
First down and 10, 41 seconds. Remember, Boblitz can at least give you 3 from here, you would think. 2 receivers to the right side. Cameron Buford split out wide right. Here is Herbal wanting to throw left. Has a man. Boblitz shakes a defender. 10, 5. He is close, and it is touchdown time in Texas. Blake Boblitz catches it at about the 12-yard line. Jukes one defender, cuts it inside, and strolls into the end zone. How about that? Eric Herbal threw a bullet to him. And instead of kicking the field goal, Blake Boblitz will come on to kick the extra point.
All that was a run. Caught at about the 12. There was some question because he was hit near the sideline at the flag, but he was able to get the ball across and score.
The extra point is good. 21-21. Knotted up again. We're about to head to halftime, but we've got 33 seconds before we do it. We'll be back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho, who courteously just brought me a water. Thank you. It is only 115,000 degrees out there, and I don't know how you stand on the sidelines.
Well, he's got a breeze to work with. We have nothing.
That's right. They faked the quail onside once again. Boblitz ready to tee it up. Boblitz has had a busy minute and a half or so as he caught the touchdown from Eric Herbal. Herbal's first of the year, and Boblitz first of the year. And this time he'll kick the pooch kick to the 31-yard line, be taken by a Denison up man, crosses the field, running the length of the field. Now turns it back the other side, and he's in trouble, and he's actually going to lose a yard or so. He had nowhere to go. Normally when you catch it by an up man, you just want to go straight up the field.
Yeah, in this situation, he had a chance at an open field tackle, but Coyle Permeter did what I thought on earlier Kenny McGowan should have done on the quarterback for Denison. Stanley Morrison should have done, but he went right at him. Instead, he kept his feet, forced the play back the other way, and let pursuit come and make the tackle. Beautiful play there by Coyle.
On all these Beef O'Brady's kickoffs by Blake Boblitz, normally we're going to see Boblitz hammer it down the field because he's got that great leg. But in this instance, with 22 seconds left to go before the half, it just kind of wanted to create a little havoc. First down and 10, 22 seconds left to go before the half. This is a double reverse to the far sideline, and Denison running back is going to cross the 35-yard line and going to be pushed out of bounds. And that was the wide receiver, actually, Calvin Dotson, who came back around. It was a double reverse. That leaves 15 seconds on the clock.
Nice job by Bo Burns there on the secondary and reverse. You always have your cornerback stay contained, and he did. And And now he didn't make the tackle, but he allowed the others to make the tackle when he tried to make moves.
3 receivers to the near side. Morrison wants the ball. Rolling out right side, looking for someone to heave it to. Now he's in jail behind the line. Breaks out of it, 40. 45, cuts back near side 50 and dragged down. A great tackle there. An open field tackle by Zach Plummer, who brought him down just the near side of the 50-yard line. It is now in McKinney North territory, and a timeout's going to be called. We're going to take one, too. 4 seconds before half, back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 4 seconds on the clock before half. 21-21, all knotted up. McKinney North and Denison. Shotgun formation for Denison, moving left to right on the radio dial. Stanley Morrison rolling left, wants to pass. He's in trouble now, crosses the 50. He is hit at the 20. He is hit at the 50-yard line and drags a couple of defenders out close to first down territory, and that's going to be the end of the half. You got to be happy if you're in the McKinney North Bulldogs. You're staying with this team. Last year at the half, McKinney North actually had a lead 21-20, and then Denison came out and put the route on after that. McKinney North and Sean Pratt I know they're going to talk about that at half.
Well, and that's what halftime adjustments are for, so we'll see what either team decides to do here during the halftime. This is where games are won or lost, and what's done in half. You figure out what's working, make adjustments to try to make it better. You figure out what's not working, scratch it, or make adjustments to try to make that better. And this is where coaches make their money, is during the halftime adjustments.
Well, McKinneysports.net's going to make some money here in a moment as Teddy Sappho is going to interview Rodney Williams. They're going to talk about the new website they've got going, and they're going to talk about the recap of this first half. I think McKinney North and Denison probably are happy. The fans are probably happy because it's a high-scoring game, and both offenses look pretty well. Nobody knew a whole lot about what was going to happen tonight. Both teams had changed so much, but I think both fans on either side of the football field are happy. We're going to take a quick timeout. Again, 21-21, all knotted up, McKinney North and Denison. We'll be back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho are here. And, Teddy, you've got a halftime guest. Why don't you introduce who we got up here?
Well, we have from McKinneysports.net Rodney Williams, and he covers the
McKinney North is going to kick off, going left to right on the radio dial. Denison lining up with Curly Ray Jackson standing at his own 10-yard line. Blake Boblets in the Quail onside. They're going to run up to the line. They're going to fake it and now run back. Spread out across the 30-yard line. The ball's teed up on the 40. Here's Boblets running to the football. The ball is in the air. It's a deep kick. Curly Ray Jackson will take it at his own 2. He fumbles it, picks it back up. Crosses the 10, 15, 20, some room, 30, out to cross the 30, bumps into a McKinney North defender, and David Douglas brings him down at the 27-yard line. A nice return by Curly Ray Jackson once again.
Boy, and he got lucky that the ball didn't bounce away from him when he muffed that kick. Luckily for him, it was right at his feet. He was able to pick it up and actually turn a nice carry in it.
It'll be first down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets as they come out onto the field in their offensive unit. Stanley Morrison, a great first half rushing the football.
Yeah, if you look at his stats, he's the leading ground gainer for Denison at 103 yards. He's done that on 7 carries.
He will scramble out of that backfield in shotgun formation. He has Joe Haley standing to his left. 2 receivers to the left. He is going to hand it. He's going to fake the hand to Joe Haley and throw it to the left side. Has a man caught at the 40-yard line, pushed out of bounds there. The Denison defender was thought for a minute that was Dylan Castle, and it was. Dylan Castle makes the catch. It's going to be close to a first down, but a couple of yards short. Crosses out to the 41-yard line. 14 seconds have run off the clock here in the second half. We have a tie ball game, 21-21, Denison and McKinney North. Shotgun formation for Denison just near the midfield stripe. Handoff, Joe Haley up the middle. He's in jail, breaks through a tackle of Micah Moore and gains about 4 or 5 yards after the missed tackle by Micah Moore. He was finally brought down by linebacker or defensive tackle Ryan Selby-Carney, but not after he picked up a first down.
Yeah, and again, a quarterback read in his face. Making that read for Stanley Morrison was Micah Moore, and so he gave it off to his fullback Haley, getting the first down.
First down and 10. Denison trying to move here. They're 4 yards shy of midfield. 2 receivers to the right. Stanley Morrison wants to roll out left. Fakes the pitch, runs up the middle, fighting for yardage. Going to gain 2 or 3, but he's going to be stopped right there. A great stop by the linebacker. And on the play was Kenny Alexander. He made a great stop there, coming up and forcing Stanley Morrison to the sidelines and had nowhere to go.
And that should have been a pitch out by Morrison, because when he cut it up, coming on from cornerback was Bo Burns, and you have to make that read and pitch it out. If he pitches it out, that's probably a gain of 5 and maybe even a first down. But by keeping it, he turned it up inside, and the linebacker made the tackle.
Dylan Castle comes in motion to the near side, sets up as the flanker to the near side. One man in the backfield is Joe Haley. Stanley Morrison barking, low snap, hands off. Haley now fakes it, rolls out to the right side, throwing it back to Haley. Crosses the 50, 45, 40, 35, look out, 30, 25. He doesn't have the speed to break away, and now he does. 10-5. I can't believe it. He carries defenders, and now he might have fumbled. They're going to say touchdown Denison because he fumbled the ball into the end zone. A Yellow Jacket recovered the ball in the end zone. And on the recovery was Joseph Somo. An unbelievable play. I'm almost dumbfounded by that play. I saw Corey Robertson run that same play many times. Joe Haley, I thought, they're going to catch him because he doesn't have the breakaway speed, but apparently he has that Moose Johnson rumbling style and just barreled over everybody.
Well, he doesn't have breakaway speed, but he has the ability to break away.
And the kick is going to sail through. 28-21, Denison on top. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Saffo getting ready for the Beef O'Brady's kickoff here. And Teddy, talk about that fumble recovery. Did you have a good look at it down there?
Recovery, Monty, and it was luckily he got the ball back. He was running the ball, and as soon as he got it, like a lot of players came and they tackled him and they stripped the ball. He did not have both hands secured on the ball. Thus the ball came out, but luckily one of the offensive players jumped on it, thus resulting in a touchdown. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Teddy. And the touchdown thus results in a 28-21 lead for Denison. 10:26 left to go in the third quarter. And Denison about to tee it up and kick off this Beef O'Brady's kickoff. Let me remind you that we have the coaches show at Beef O'Brady's every Wednesday night. I would suggest you be there and be there early if you want to go. It's a buffet style, and I'll tell you what, it was great last week. Here's the Beef O'Brady's kickoff. Bang deep down to the 10-yard line. Is going to be taken by an up man there. Kenny McGowan trying to fight for yards. The football may be on the ground. Denison says they hasn't, no indication yet. And the Yellow Jackets have recovered deep in McKinney North territory.
Well, that's a momentum play right there. Good coverage on the return, or rather on the coverage team for Denison. Nowhere to go, and then a simple hand pokes the ball out, and a fortuitous bounce toward Denison's way, and now they're setting up shop inside the 30.
Well, that's not good for the kickoff return unit. And, special teams was a big factor in the scrimmage at Sherman last week, and looks like it's coming up big here. 10:17 left to go in the third quarter. Denison's going to get it deep in McKinney North territory. He's going to hand off Joe Haley running right up the middle, 20, pushing his way to the 15 and down right there. A gain of nearly 10 yards, or possibly 10. It's going to be real close to the first down marker. They will move the sticks and call it first down. North down by 7 here, and hoping to not be down by 14. Kenny McGowan comes out of the football game. Has 3 receivers left actually for Denison. Stanley Morrison is going to fake the hand, run around the right side, 10-5. Touchdown Denison as Stanley Morrison strolls around the right side for a 15-yard touchdown. It is now beginning to look like a route, 34-21. Denison on top, and mistakes have killed McKinney North tonight. Mistakes killed McKinney last night. And we'll see if the Dogs can come back barking like the Lions did last night.
Well, right now, all that seems to be doing is running a base play where they have Joe Haley coming across to the left side, and all Stanley Morrison has to do is make his read and decide to give it to Haley or keep it, and that seems to be more than 50% of their offense is that one play.
Awaiting the PAT. Right now it's 34-21. Make it 35-21. 9:49 left to go in the third quarter. Denison on top of McKinney North, 35-21. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Come back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho. Teddy has the cheerleaders down there. Teddy, give us a little cheer.
Yes, Monty, right now, since the team is down, we decided, hey, let's get this team fired up a little bit. So I have the cheerleaders with us, and we have a couple of head cheerleaders with us. What are your names, please?
Jackie Donaldson, Allison Hurt.
And what cheer are you going to do for us?
The Bulldog cheer. Okay.
You guys heard it. Let it rip.
Ready, hit it! B-U-L-L-B-O-G-S, Bulldogs! B-U-L-L-B-O-G-S, Bulldogs! B-U-L-L-B-O-G-S, Bulldogs! B-U-L-L.
All right. Thanks a lot, Teddy, down there on the sideline. Lots of fun down there for the cheerleaders. Not so much fun right now for the Bulldog defense as they've given up 35 points, trying to fight their way back into this one. Luckily for McKinney North, they're known as more of an offensive team, and it's going to take a little bit of offense to come back tonight. Here's the Beef O'Brady's kickoff down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be taken by Cameron Buford. He's going to cross the 20, 25, and be wrestled down at about the 23. They're moving backwards a little bit to the 23, but they're going to give him forward progress to the 25.
Well, you have to give a lot of credit to the Sherman Denison return team. I did it again. The Denison coverage team on the kickoff there, they're not letting McKinney North get away with a whole lot on the special teams. And I'm probably going to need an escort to the car tonight. There might be a couple of snipers trained on me. Let's see Sherman, huh?
9:41 left to go in the third quarter. 35-21. Denison on top. McKinney North has the ball. Herbal wants to run it up the middle and it's going to gain about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 8 with 9:31 left to go in the third quarter. Ball's going to rest at the 26-yard line. Oh, goodness, Brandon. You're going to have to get this Denison thing straight. It's a good thing we don't play Sherman later on in the year. You'd be calling them Denison all night.
I think I'd have them okay.
All right, Eubanks will go in motion, and they're going to fake the hand to him now, give it to him running near side. Cuts it back. He was cut off at the corner. Now Sherrick Thompson has him in the backfield for a big loss all the way back at the 19-yard line. That'll bring up third and very long. Herbal's probably going to have to throw him out of this one as 8:56 is rolling here in the third quarter. Cameron Buford is on the near side. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, remember on their opening drive they were putting a third and greater than 10 and came up with a 54-yard pass, so this is not out of the realm of possibility for Herbal on this McKinney North offense.
They were faced with a third and 10 also when Eubanks hauled it in amongst 3 defenders across the middle. A great catch. Maybe they need something like that right here. 3 receivers to the left side. Herbal, straight drop, looking over the middle. Now looks left side. It's almost picked off by the Denison Yellow Jacket defender. And on the play for the Denison Yellow Jackets is a guy that just got a brand new jersey. Well, they're going to – Joey Wagner actually is the guy who broke it up. And
I pointed it to you as they were doing it. It's like, you watch there, because Joey Wagner was reading his eyes of Herbal, and he looked at his receiver. As soon as the receiver made the cut on the 10-yard out, Joey Wagner stepped in front of it, and if he has a little softer hands, that's an easy interception. McKinney North probably dodged a bullet with that one because that would set up a 1st and 10 inside the 20 again.
Brandon Dunn goes back in punt formation, stands at his own 6-yard line, flags on the play. It'll be a false start against McKinney North, more than likely. 35-21, Denison on top of McKinney North here at McKinney ISD Stadium. thank you for joining us. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We've got a great crowd here tonight from both sides. It's nearly packed on the far sideline. The Denison must have brought the Greyhound out. And McKinney North has you got to like the McKinney North crowd. They always wear orange.
Yeah, this is a very orangish crowd. I feel like I need an orange soda.
Disregard the flag, apparently. They're going to wave it off.
Well, at least there wasn't a play. That's frustrating when you start a play and then there's an inadvertent flag.
Timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2 back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Teddy Sappho. 8:23 left to go in the third quarter. Denison on top 35-21. McKinney North in punt formation as it is 4th down and 14 at their own 20-yard line. Brandon Dunn stands at his own 6-yard line awaiting to punt this one away. Dunn's punt gets off. It's a high spiraling punt. It is going to be taken by Dylan Castle at the 46-yard line as he caught it on the fly, called for the fair catch, and Denison will take over shop at the 46 in their own territory.
33-yard punt executed very nicely. Nice hang time, allowed the coverage team to get there, forcing a fair catch. Couldn't ask for anything better. Maybe a little bit more distance on the punt. Right now they're just inside their own territory, but you know, when you're deep in inside your own end zone like that, how close McKinney North was, this is what you need, and now they need their defense to come through with a stop.
Well, a 34-yard punt for a high school kid isn't all that bad, especially when it's caught. Normally, if it rolls, probably roll for another 4, 5, 6, 7 yards. 2 receivers to either side. This is the backup quarterback, Jordan Scott's going to hand it off up the middle. Not much doing there. He's going to gain a yard as Curly Ray Jackson. And make that Haley. That's Haley, the carrier on that play. And Joe Haley comes up limping a little bit. He's going to stay in the football game.
1 yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. Yellow Jackets.
Denison sends multiple receivers into the game. And they run them out to the right side. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Haley switches sides in the backfield. Jordan Scott sends him back over to the right side. A little confusion in the backfield on 2nd down and 8. Jordan Scott wants the ball, lifts his leg, fumbles the snap, racing for it, and Denison may have it back. I think Joe Haley was able to run over to the near side and find it, and he did. It was a heads-up play by Joe Haley to run that ball down.
Yeah, he's able to keep the possession. Unfortunately for his Spats, he's going to lose 3 rushing yards, but he keeps possession of it. And, this happened in the first half, too, where they had the backup guys come in on the second series of the first half, and that's just what this is a little bit of unfamiliarity with the first team and the second team mixing it up.
At some point, you got to ask your defense to come up with one of those big plays. You need a play like that, like a fumble recovery or an interception. McKinney North needs desperately one of those big plays. Maybe here, 3rd down 12. This is going to be Stanley Morrison running up the middle, trying to break a tackle, and the Denison offensive line shuts her down as the DPD brings them up. The dog pound defense stops him right at the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th down and punt time for Denison this time.
Well, not a turnover, but it's a turnover on downs in a sort of way. What they really could have used was a fumble, like the play earlier. The last 3 fumbles for both sides have not gone McKinney's way. First, Denison fumbles into the end zone and they recover it, and then McKinney fumbles to give it up, and then this one prior to the punt.
Back to punt will be Rex Petty standing at his own 31-yard line. Cameron Eubanks is going back to the 20, moving up now, about the 19-yard line. Petty looking for the snap and gets it, but there's flags on the play. 6:06 left to go. Brandon?
Delay of game, the play clock's out.
Back it up another 5 yards. They're not trying to save space here or anything. They just didn't get it off in time.
Well, no, at this point, this is a perfect high school punt length when you're putting the ball on the 45. If you can get a 30-yard kick, you'd put them down at the 20 again.
Rex Petty will punt towards the south end zone. Cameron Eubanks now moves up a little bit. Will stand at the 24-yard line as Petty stands at his own 25. The snap's back. It's a good one. Petty, not a lot of pressure. Gets it off. A low-line driver. Eubanks catches it at the 35. He's running near side. Crosses the 50, trying to put a move on. Somehow catches his balance 40 and upended at the 36-yard line. A great return by Cameron Eubanks.
The official threw his marker down at the 34. He crosses 16 yards to the 50 and then gains an additional 14 yards, so a 28-yard kick return, but juking, breaking tackles, that's exactly what McKinney needs. Now they got to stop on defense. A nice punt return. They just need to get something together here on offense.
You know, and he tight roping down the sidelines, did a great job over there, and I really don't know how he kept his balance right at the 40-yard line. McKinney North's offense will come back out now with 5:44 left to go in the third quarter, down by 2 touchdowns.
And one more thing, I thought there could have been a penalty because there was kind of a shoulder hit, and then the McKinney defender put his hands in the air like, whoa, I didn't get him in the back, so they might have dodged the bullet too.
Chase Barrett in the backfield. There is a fullback this time in the backfield. This is a shotgun. Herbal wants to throw, looking left side, fires it deep, and way overshoots Cameron Eubanks on the left side. Herbal has been deep a couple of times tonight.
Well, and he's just missed twice for potential touchdowns by throwing it a yard or two over, and he had perfect protection there from his offensive line. He had all kinds of time to throw the ball.
I don't want to compare him to a big-time all-district quarterback last year from Hebron, Justin Petruka, but he kind of reminds me of him with that big, strong arm. He's a big, strong kid.
He seems to have a good pocket presence about him, too.
Second down and 10 at the Denison 36-yard line. He's going to throw it out left side. Blake Boblitz jukes a defender, has a lane. 20, 15, 10, 5. It is touchdown time in Texas, but there's a flag down at the 1-yard line. Herbal threw the swing pass out left. Boblitz did the rest of the work.
36 yards on the decision. Flag on the play.
And you hope it's not an unnecessary flag that's going to bring this one back, because it was a great play by Boblitz to sneak through everybody.
If it stands, it'll be a touchdown on 2 receptions. And he made that one. He stripped tackles. There was a possible ankle tackle. The penalty is indeed on McKinney North. But Boblitz just pretty much broke off the defender trying to ankle tackle him, ripped it out, and went into the end zone. But unfortunately for McKinney North, there's a block in the back.
And it will be a spot foul, looks like. So they will have enough for the first down. We'll just see where they mark the football. And they're going to say the infraction. They're going to mark the football at the 14-yard line. So apparently the infraction took place at the 4.
The Yellow Jackets 14-yard line.
So Boblitz's touchdown has been called back. However,
it is nice for him, though. He still gets credit for the reception yards, just not a receiving touchdown, which is really what McKinney needs.
21 points is what McKinney North has. 35 is what Denison has. 5:26 left to go in the third quarter. McKinney North desperately needs to get in the end zone here. Handoff, Chase Barrett running right tackle and down after a gain of about 2 yards.
Well, that's one guy who's been quiet. He had a huge amount of carries on the team's second touchdown drive that really got him out of deep in their own territory, and he's really been quiet since. Not anything that Denison has done. It's been more that they just haven't given him the ball because of the effectiveness of the throwing and running game of Cameron Eubanks.
Cameron Eubanks in the slot on the right side, and split deep is Cameron Buford. On the far side is Boblitz, who had that great run a moment ago that got called back. And Eric Herbal, the quarterback, will stand in shotgun formation. Barrett is on his left. He gets the snap, wants to throw over left side. What a great catch! It is touchdown time in Texas as Cameron Buford goes over the middle and makes a diving catch. Whoa, baby!
2 receptions for Buford. That has resulted in 2 big plays, a 54-yarder that got in their first possession, or on their first possession, their first touchdown. He didn't score directly, but this time a low throw that he basically has to dig out. And you know what? It's fairly easy for him coming across the middle, going low, and that's where the quarterback needed to put it.
Boblitz has the kick blocked. So it will be a 35-27 score with 4:42 left to go in the third quarter after that exciting, electrifying Cameron Buford touchdown. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We're getting ready for the Beef O'Brady's kickoff. 35-27, Denison in the lead here over McKinney North. It was a great catch by Cameron Buford in the end zone on a 9-yard touchdown. And oh, what a catch it was. Boblitz had the PAT blocked, however, and that's why we have the odd score.
And I was just about to say, as much of the momentum gained back by the catch, some of it was taken away on the blocked PAT. What happened, the rusher came from the far side of us and was untouched. And Blablitz has a deliberate approach to the ball.
Here's the pooch kick. They've been faking the quail all night, and it's going to be fair caught by Denison's Joseph Somo at the 36-yard line. He actually trips over his own man. Teddy Sappho down on the sideline. Teddy, did you have a chance to look and see who blocked that kick and the shenanigans going on with the extra point?
Well, the extra point, Monty, it was blocked because on the left end, I cannot catch the player's number, but on the left end, he was left completely unblocked. He was able to come around the left end and block the kick. The kicker had no chance to get the ball off the ground whatsoever. And I saw Coach Pratt. He got the team together and said, "Look, we cannot have any more of these mistakes. Right now, we're shooting ourselves in the foot." Back to you, Monty.
All right, thanks a lot, Teddy. 4:41 left to go here in the third quarter. McKinney North down 35-27. This is Stanley Morrison running right side on the draw. 40, trying to shake a defender, does, puts some moves and crosses the midfield stripe, and he had more moves than James Brown on that play.
I'm not touching that one.
First down for Denison as Stanley Morrison was shaking his hips. And you know what? We saw the cramps last night in the McKinney game. J.D. Dowling was not able to return. Stanley Morrison is down right now, and the trainers are talking to him, stretching his legs a little bit.
You know what I'm liking from this Denison team? On the far side, the whole time that you see Morrison taking the ball up as a quarterback, Kevin Holzbog, the wide receiver on the far side, is just taking down the field and forcing the cornerback to have to run with them, and that's leaving a key defender on the edge there away from the play and allowing Morrison to get those gains of 15.
Well, Stanley Morrison is going to have to leave the field at least for one play as they are basically helping him off the sidelines, limping a little bit over there. First down and 10 for Denison. Ball just past the midfield stripe in McKinney North territory. 4:29 and rolling here in the third quarter. One receiver wide left, and Joe Haley in the backfield, standing next to Jordan Scott. He's going to hand off. Haley cuts it back to the left side. It's going to be tackled just shy of the 45-yard line. A nice stop in the back. A nice stop by the linebacker back there for McKinney North. Derek Corey makes the stop.
Well, with Sean Morrison out, that takes their leading rusher of 136 yards out of the game. That could be big because now you have the backup quarterback, but that's why Bob Brown wanted to put his backup quarterback in there is to get him experience at the second position.
Three receivers to the right side this time. Second down and 5. And Jordan Scott has it picked off by Kenny McGowan. He's at the 30. Kiss him goodbye. 20, 15, 10, 5. It is touchdown time in Texas. We wanted the big play earlier. You can't get much better than that.
61-yard touchdown on the interception. Perfectly read the backup quarterback side. Jordan Scott looked as receiver for the whole way. You almost saw it coming. We saw Denison do it earlier, but the ball went through their hands. This time McKinney North holds on to it. Nothing but green ahead. Touchdown, and now you're 2 points down. And when you're getting late in the third quarter, you have to weigh those options of doing a two-pointer or going for one and hoping your team can score again.
Well, McKinney North huddling up here as they have some time before they have to kick the extra point, but they're taking their time here.
Well, I'm sure they're weighing a hard decision. And then if they do decide to go for it, now you got to figure out what play you want to do.
Well, here comes Blake Boblitz and the extra point unit. And, you know, what do you do here? They're not going to line up in the extra point unit. They're going to line up as Eric Herbal is going to fake it inside. Two-point conversion. Is he in? Yes! It is two-point conversion time in Texas, if you will.
Hey, it works in this situation. Beautiful job by the quarterback. Saw a seam, and when you're going for two, you only need a little bit of green. He saw it, dove about 1.5 yards, gained a yard on his own. Beautiful conversion there by the quarterback, Herbal.
What were we talking about earlier today? A tie ball game, 35-35. 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to MISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Brand new ball game. All of a sudden, it looked bleak a moment ago for McKinney North as they were trying to fight and claw their way back into this football game. They have done that after back-to-back scores. Cameron Buford's 9-yard touchdown reception from Herbal, and now Kenny McGowan's interception return. Here's a very, very deep kickoff. Lands about 7 yards deep in the end zone, and Curly Ray Jackson can do nothing but sit and watch it.
Is it fair to say momentum's now on McKinney North's side?
I think that's a little fair.
Well, this crowd has jumped into it. All of a sudden, kicks seem to go 10 yards longer when they were being fielded at the 5. They're now 7, 8 yards deep into the end zone. All of a sudden, the beating you're taking at the line's not seem so bad. Well, this is going to be a great game to finish now. It's up to the McKinney North defense to try to hold it down.
You know, we were talking earlier about a big play. Haven't seen one yet. And, man, you can't get any bigger than Kenny McGowan's 61-yard interception return. Fabulous. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Stanley Morrison back into the game. Flips to Joe Haley. Joe Haley has some running room, crosses the 35 and rumbles his way to the 37-yard line. He doesn't look like a back who should be gaining this much yards, but you know what? He's just bumbling his way to all these first downs that he's getting tonight.
Well, he now has 14 carries. It's netted him 68 yards. He's getting a lot of 3, 4, 5s in there, and then every now and then breaks one loose, not because he's so quick, but because he can lower the shoulder and put you on your back.
There's a flag on the play. The Hankies laying at the 37-yard line. It's against McKinney North.
Small face mask of the 5-yard variety.
That's going to put.
Or is it a? Ooh, they're marking a 15-yarder off.
That's a big one. It's going to go across the midfield stripe into McKinney North territory at the 48-yard line. McKinney North trying to fight Denison away from their side of the field. Can't do it here. A penalty takes them into their side of the field. 35-35, tie ball game. As Stanley Morrison, the quarterback, is in shotgun formation. 2 receivers either side. Joe Haley standing to his left. Gets the snap, looking right side, fires it. Has a man caught at the 43-yard line. On the reception is Joey Wagner for the Yellow Jackets, but as soon as he caught it, he went down. So they will mark the ball at the 43. That is about 5-yard gain for Morrison. 2:58 before the fourth quarter. Clock is rolling. Tie ball game. 3 receivers to the left this time. Morrison, shotgun formation as always. Fakes the rolling to the left, rolls to the right. Right there is a bunch of McKinney North defenders, and they stop him well short of the line of scrimmage. A great stop there. Ryan Selby-Carney there, as well as a couple of others. Derek Corey made the stop on his back.
Well, the problem for the Denison offense is that it relies really, really far too much on timing, and he bumbled the snap, therefore not able to get the read and get it off to Haley, the fullback, coming across the formation, and then he had to try to improvise, but McKinney North was there.
3rd down and 5. Big play here for the McKinney North defense. Can you hold them right here? This is Jordan Scott, the quarterback, rolling, throwing left side, almost picked off once again by Brandon Dunn this time. Jordan Scott trying to find his receiver, Joseph Somo, and Jordan Scott's made a couple of bad decisions here lately in the third quarter.
Well, kind of what you would expect of your backup quarterback, but he's still a junior and has plenty of time in the system. Right now, I think he's getting a little overwhelmed by being in this situation.
Well, it is 4th down, 4th and 5 here. And Rex Petty will go back to punt. So Denison should have still really good field position, as McKinney North is probably going to be pushed back deep in their own end zone. Now Kenny McGowan's going to go back deep in punt return.
Well, he showed he had speed on that interception.
We'll see what he can do here as Rex Petty punts it. It's a kind of a wobbly kick. Going to be taken. It bounces right in front of McGowan and down at about the 15-yard line. McGowan wanted no part of that wobbly kick.
Well, smart.
And with 1:55 left to go before the fourth quarter, the McKinney North fans faithfully rise to their feet as they got to be happy that they're hanging here with Denison. You know, after going 2-8 last year, when you're tying a team that went 8-3 last year, you got to be happy, and these McKinney North fans are.
Well, they're minus a big player from last year, but they've shown today that they've got plenty to fill up for that today. Right now, the defense did its job. Unfortunately, they mixed a 15-yard penalty, and then that's been a story. They have 5 penalties for 50 yards.
Eric Herbal brings his troops back out onto the football field and sends 2 receivers to either side. Chase Barrett stands to his left, sends a man in motion. That's Butler, hands off Barrett up the middle. Has about 4 yards before finally going down right at the 19-yard line. Well, they're going to give him right about 4. Mark it out to the 22. Flag down. That's way after the play, so that normally is a personal foul. Somebody said something.
Now we'll see who mixed it up after the play and who shouldn't have. And you can bet neither one of these coaches are going to like it if it's on them.
Eric Herbal runs over to the sideline, talks to Sean Pratt. Sean Pratt pats him on the behind, says, go get him. Herbal runs back out, says something to one of his receivers, Anton Williams. Now still conversing with some of his coaches. Now Herbal will go back out. It is a personal foul on Denison. Somebody said something about somebody's mother. And 1:40 left to go before the fourth quarter. That doesn't help Denison.
Well, McKinney made a stupid penalty earlier. They gave him 15 yards and ended up hurting him in field position, but then they give it right back here. Now instead of being inside the 25, they're almost touching the 40.
First down and 10 after that penalty. 1:39 here in the third quarter. Herbal, shotgun, stands at his own 33. Butler goes in motion, handoff. Butler, no, Herbal keeps it. It was a great fake, and he's crossing the midfield stripe to the 46-yard line. A great fake by Eric Herbal. That is absolutely one of the best you'll ever see. They ran the same play a moment ago, handed it off that time to Chase Barrett. This time faked it to him, put it in his gut, pulled it, and ran her off right tackle.
Right now they're running the option beautifully, and it also helps on the option on the fake to the fullback, because sometimes you'll give it to the fullback, but if you can really sell it, then that means something.
That personal foul, the time that they had during that time gave Herbal a chance to talk to one of his coaches and figure out what they were going to do on that play. Very smart. Handoff, Chase Barrett this time. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and struggles to get back across to McKinney North territory. They're going to mark him at the 49-yard line, just shy of midfield.
Boy, he had no chance on that one.
1:01 left to go before the fourth quarter. All tied up here in McKinney, 35-35. Denison Yellow Jackets and McKinney North Bulldogs.
Did it seem to you that that play was a little slow in developing, allowing the defense just to get back there really quick?
Atten Williams split wide right. Max Butler in the slot. Eric Herbal shotgun formation. Butler will go in motion. Hands off Butler, running left side on the reverse. Crosses the 50, and Denison has that play. Sniffed out, ball is on the turf. And McKinney North recovers. They may mark him or rule him down.
And they do. The line judge hasn't moved, so it's only a 1-yard gain.
It was a heads-up play regardless by David Douglas to jump on that football. And that would probably be the end of the third quarter as the clock is now inside 10. I tell you what, McKinney North fans, you got to be happy. You got to be happy with this performance that the McKinney North Bulldogs have given you tonight. 35-35 going to the fourth quarter. McKinney North fans, you're about to rise to your feet. I can hear you. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to head to the fourth quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back, MISD Stadium. Changing fields now. Eric Herbal throws it, and he's in all kinds of trouble. Has the pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. The man that batted it down was Joey Wagner, and he immediately has cramps. He's trying to walk it off so he doesn't have to leave the field. He went down immediately. We talked about it last night. The cramps are really bad this time of year when it's so hot. It's really tough to fight those things off. Did you ever do your homework and look that up about the pickle juice?
It's just a wives' tale. That's one of those things that they say will work and they don't. I mean, it really doesn't.
Punt formation as McKinney North is going to have to boot it away here. Back to punt. Brandon Helms, high snap, brings it down, has to rush a little bit, gets it off. Brandon Dunn, rather, I'm sorry.
Let's say I'm up here.
The punt is going to finally land at the 25-yard line. That's where Denison will take over. First and 10 for Denison. 11:46 left to go here in the fourth quarter. All knotted up 35-35. Thank you for joining us on 97.5 K-Lake FM. We're going to talk to Teddy Sappho here in a minute and see about this momentum switch, because McKinney North really had it in favor there for a second, trying to keep that. First down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets of Denison, Texas. Shotgun formation. Jordan Scott, still the quarterback, rolls out right side, trying to find a man to throw it. Now tucks it and runs, and he is going to be stopped right dead in his tracks. Kirsten Williams is right there, along with several others. Ryan Selby Carney also there to make the stop.
Well, that was just good on several fronts for McKinney North. First, the coverage, not allowing anything to open up. And then second, the line broke their blocks and put pressure on them. So even if there was somebody open, it would have been a tough throw.
Split out wide right for Denison is Kevin Halsbog. And Joe Haley is in the backfield, standing to the quarterback Jordan Scott's left. Three receivers out wide left, and Jordan Scott's going to look that way now, tuck it and run again, and caught from behind. A great defensive play by McKinney North once again, and on the play was the big end. Zach Plummer, the defensive end, got him.
Third down and 15 Yellow Jackets. Denison 20-yard line.
Justin Deshawn also there causing some havoc. I'll tell you what, McKinney North's defense is stepping it right up. The big DPD has made themselves aware tonight with some big plays against this Denison offense.
Well, and it seems to me they're getting stronger as the game's going on.
Three receivers out wide left, one to the right. This is Scott rolling to that left side, looking for somewhere to go, and he's in jail. Just heaves it out of bounds. He was under a lot of pressure, did the smart thing, and just threw it away.
Well, he was out of the pocket. He had three guys in his face. Didn't need to take a sack. Didn't need to try to force a play. But here's my question. Where is Stanley Morrison?
You know, Morrison is out. Also Cameron Eubanks. We haven't seen him in the game lately, as Max Butler has been in for Eubanks' slot spot. So Eubanks may be being attended to. We haven't talked to Teddy Sappho yet, and we will here momentarily, maybe after this punt, as we were wondering where Cameron Eubanks is. Well, he's on the field in punt return. Rex Petty goes back to punt this one away. He will stand at his own 6-yard line. Denison has to call timeout. They didn't have enough men on the field. We'll take one, too. 10-10 left to go in the fourth quarter. We're all knotted up, 35-35 in McKinney, Texas. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Rex Petty back to punt, gets it away, not a lot of pressure, kicks it away from Cameron Eubanks. It's going to roll past him. Eubanks is going to track it down. He's going to pick it up at the 27-yard line, trying to find a lane on the right side. Cuts one defender, cuts it back inside to the 40, and is nailed right at his own 40-yard line. He tried to make too many cuts there and got kind of blindsided, but it was a fairly nice return of about 10 yards regardless. They're going to mark him just shy of the 40. No, they're going to put him right on the 40-yard line. So an 11-yard return for Cameron Eubanks.
Well, and that's a situation where you have to make cuts because what you're doing at the time isn't working. But a lot of times when you make cuts, it gives time for the other defenders to get there. But nice job on the punt there. However, he just outkicked his coverage. Not a lot of hang time, and that allowed Eubanks to take it to the 40. 60 yards to go for the potential go-ahead touchdown, and then really only about 30 to go for the potential field goal.
9:55 left to go in this football game as Eric Herbal will send his troops out. One-man split wide left. The big tight end, Jeff Olson, is in a slot. And Herbal gets the toss. Is going to hand off inside. That's Chase Barrett, who is close to a first down, gaining about 9 yards. Looked very similar to J.R. Housey on that play.
Well, that's what we asked for at the beginning of the third quarter, was more of Chase Barrett, and they're starting to feed him just a bit more and more. He's now eclipsed 70 yards for the game at 71 officially.
Second down and very short here as, well, this is a good opportunity to throw the home run ball. A man goes in motion. Cameron Eubanks fakes it to him. Chase Barrett, handoff, is going to be very close to the first down. I mean, really close. Teddy Sappho, you might want to take a look at this one. because this one's really going to be close. Teddy, tell us where they're going to put it down over there.
Exactly close to the marker. Right now the referees are trying to decide, and it looks over here it looks a little bit short, but the McKinney players are indicating a first down.
Well, they're going to bring the chains out.
But they're going to bring the chains down. We're going to see momentarily if they did get the first down.
Go ahead and make a call, Teddy. I want to make fun of you if you're wrong.
Well, to bring the chains out right now, Monty.
Come on, give us a call.
What's it from your perspective, Teddy?
Well, they are short by 1 chain length. Amazing.
All right.
Notice how he didn't want to go on record and say anything in general.
Come on, guys.
Thanks a lot,
Back
Teddy.
to you.
Thanks a lot, Teddy. Great job down there all night, Teddy Sappho, with his eagle eye on the field. They're going to stretch these chains and see what it is. 9:02 left to go in this football game. We're all knotted up. 35-35 here in McKinney.
I love how precise they are when they make a measurement. They'll take it just to those 2 inches, even though during the course of the game on anything that's not really close, they just chuck it down into the hash mark. And on the chains, though, you got to be, if it's 2 inches short, you got to make sure it stays 2 inches short.
Yeah. McKinney North comes back to the line of scrimmage. And Blake Boblitz will split out wide left. Cameron Eubanks has the slot. Herbal goes under center now. He's going to run the quarterback sneak, and you're not going to be able to stop a kid who is 6'2", 185 plus. And when he goes up and wants to surge for the first down, he's going to get it. 8:51 left to go in this football game, and McKinney North now moves the chains. And Teddy, that's a first down right there. First down and 10, 8:50 and rolling. All knotted up. I have a feeling this one is going to go right down to the wire, Brandon.
Well, we wanted a good game, and we predicted one, so here we go.
Back in shotgun formation is Herbal rolling left side, throwing on the run, has Boblitz, but he overthrows him by about a foot or so. Boblitz goes up, and he's not able to jump that high. Maybe a guy like Cameron Buford might have been able to have a chance at that, Buford being a lot taller than Boblitz.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out Boblitz's official height, but so far been unsuccessful.
Second down and 10, 8:34 left to go. This is a great football game. If you're just tuning in, it's 35-35. McKinney North has come back. They were down at one point, 35-21. Had a great touchdown catch from Cameron Buford diving in the end zone. A 2-point conversion and a Kenny McGowan interception brought them back 35-35. Cameron Eubanks goes in motion, handoff Chase Barrett up the middle, gaining 2 or 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7. And the McKinney North faithful rise to their feet. I was looking for a flag, but I didn't see anything there.
Well, the officials are conferencing, but I don't see a yellow hanky anywhere.
If they threw it down, they picked it up pretty fast.
Or they're being hidden by one of the players, but well, they're conferencing. But without Laundry on the field, you're kind of wondering what the conference is
They're
about.
standing right at the midfield stripe. They're huddling on. This MISD stadium has the shape of Texas right at the midfield stripe. MISD inside Texas with the star right about where we are here in McKinney. And they're standing on about the I in MISD, which is just short of the midfield stripe, conversing about what's going on here. We've got one official talking to Denison. So apparently the penalty is going to go against McKinney because they're asking Denison what they want to do.
Well, it's got to be something extracurricular then if they're taking this long.
Personal foul.
Oh, an
Someone
ejection.
was ejected, and it is Denison who was ejected. We don't have the player involved. We'll see who is walking off to the
Let's
side.
send Teddy down to try to figure out who got the ejection.
Teddy, you might want to shuffle around and see what you can find out. Someone has been tossed from this football game on the Denison side of the football.
Right now, Denison seems to be self-imploding. They've, after taking a 35-21 lead after the second touchdown of the half, he said, hey, it looks like the route might be on. But since then, they've done nothing that has been positive. Their quarterback's gone out of the game. They're getting penalty after penalty now. And it's just not looking good for the Yellow Jackets. Conversely, North is actually taking advantage of it.
That was an enormous first down and penalty.
80 yards and penalties for Denison.
This is Eubanks getting the toss across, looking for the corner. 30, jumps over the 25-yard line. Wow. Superman is airborne at the 25-yard line, and he jumps close to a first down. And they're going to mark it at the inside the 25 at about the 22 or 3-yard line. That's very close to a first.
And he's about a yard short, and it's in between the 23-24. And both of his touchdown runs today have been of at least 23 or 24.
What a high jumper Cameron Eubanks could be. Herbal is running the mix around, and Chase Barrett has it up the middle to the 15. Is going to go down shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. You know, McKinney North is in business here. They are a chip shot field goal away from taking the lead here. 7:34 left to go in this game. McKinney North, you know, they've never beaten Denison in a football game. This would be the first time. Denison has really put it to them in the years past. I mean, I know Sean Pratt would love to get a victory over Bob Brown.
Well, they've got a daunting non-district schedule, and while that doesn't mean anything, you'd still like to pick up a win in non-district.
Shotgun formation, handoff Chase Barrett once again, running inside to the 10, inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. Down at the 7 is where they're going to mark Chase Barrett. Now they're trying to run a little time off this clock and try to punch it in as well. 7:05 and rolling.
A couple of things for you. First, look how the defense is huddled on the sideline there. They're getting stoked up for when they have to take it back. But let's give credit to the offensive line. Brett Davis, Ryan Burke, Houston Beasley, Daniel Holt, and Coley Bryant just pounding away right now on the Denison front line and really making a chance for the running backs to pound it up the middle right now.
Chase Barrett in as the lone back, standing to the left of Herbal. Bad snap. Herbal just falls on it. A smart play by the junior quarterback, but it's going to be a loss back to the 14. The Denison Yellow Jackets, in the very first year of existence for McKinney North, defeated the Bulldogs 52-27. That was back in 2002. The next year, 2003, Denison lit it up 64-35. And then last year, McKinney North held in for quite a ways, but ended up taking it on the chin, 42-28. We may check with Teddy Saffo and see if he's learned anything about the ejection from the Denison Yellow Jackets. Here's the snap. Herbal looking left side, fires it now. It's incomplete. A man had a hand on it. And the man that I'm talking about is Garrett Turk for the Denison Yellow Jackets. Got his arm up, knocked the pass down. 5:50 left to go in the football game. Blake Boblitz will come on to try to give the McKinney North Bulldogs the lead here. Real quickly, Teddy, did you find anything out about the Denison Yellow Jacket?
Oh, that what had happened was Brett Davis, number 67 from McKinney North, he got shoved by number 83 from Denison. I don't have his number with me.
Sherrick Thompson.
Excuse me?
It was Sherrick Thompson.
Yeah, he's the one that shoved Brett Davis down to the ground.
Here's the field goal. Thanks, Teddy. The field goal is up. The kick is up, and it is good. Blake Boblitz nails it. And McKinney North takes the lead, 38-35 with 5:45 left to go in this football game. We talked to Coach Sean Pratt about the difference in his team and Denison, and the big difference is special teams. Anytime you got a kid like Blake Boblitz, you have a chance to win the football game. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Well, it's not Halloween tonight, but it is a little interesting out here. It is a crazy night, 38-35 in McKinney, as McKinney North just took the lead, 38-35. We're awaiting the Beef O'Brady's kickoff here by Blake Boblitz. Boblitz just nailed the field goal. I believe
Roughly 31, not an official estimate, or not the official, just an estimate. We'll get the official total here in just a moment.
So 38-35. McKinney North takes the lead here late in the fourth quarter. 5:45 left to go. You're going to have to hold off the Denison Yellow Jackets. Boblitz nails this one very deep. Curly Ray Jackson takes it at the goal line. He's going to run up 10, 15, 20, looking for a hole. Jukes a defender, backs Butler, I believe, has him. And I'll tell you what, Curly Ray Jackson, it takes about 5 strong defenders to really send that man to the ground. And finally, the McKinney North Bulldogs do. Someone really knocked down one of the McKinney North Bulldogs. Chase Barrett ended up on his back. There will be probably another ejection. A personal foul on the Denison Yellow Jackets. They are crumbling apart at the seams. McKinney North is going to, I tell you what, Brandon, when the Denison Yellow Jackets are not used to losing football games, first of all. They have winning in their genetic code.
Yeah. And you talked about in the pregame about gaining 200 yards on the ground. Well, they have more than 200 here.
When the Yellow Jackets, let's recap that. When the Yellow Jackets rush for 200 yards or more in a game, in the past 13 seasons for Bob Brown, they are 92-1. If the McKinney North Bulldogs end up winning tonight, they will be 93-1. That's 90 losses, 90 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie if McKinney North can hold on here. Like I say, this is a Denison Yellow Jacket football club that has winning in their genetic code, and they are behind here with 5:35 left to go in this football game.
By the way, the personal foul now, 95 yards and penalties for Denison.
Eric Herbal will have the ball at the Denison 11-yard line. 1st and 10. They can pick up a first down here. High snap, handoff. Chase Barrett running left tackle is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Might have gained 1, but I think he's just good to get back to the line of scrimmage. 5:25 and rolling here. McKinney North, this is going to be a very happy Sean Pratt, and we want to talk to Teddy Sappho after the game and make sure that we get a hold of Sean Pratt. He's going to be very excited if they can hold on to this. There is 5:10 left to go. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Stranger things have happened. Blake Boblitz wide left. Cameron Eubanks in the slot. Cameron Buford wide right. This is Herbal, shotgun formation. Chase Barrett stands to his left. Jeff Olson, the tight end, handoff. Chase Barrett caught in the backfield. A nice play by Rex Petty in the backfield. The Denison linebacker comes over and makes the stop.
Right now I think they're being a little too conservative. This is a situation where a field goal really is meaningless. You already have the lead, not much of a field goal threat on the Denison side, but a touchdown puts it at a 2-possession game. I think they really need to get in the end zone here and at least maybe try to open it up on this play.
Eubanks will come over to the near side now, right to left on the radio dial. On the 11-yard line, it is 3rd down and 11. Herbal drops straight back, looking over the middle. Caught, it's Blake Boblitz who bobbles it in the end zone. It would have been very close if he'd have caught that. I don't know if he'd have maintained possession long enough to actually count for the touchdown. Brandon says yes, but the pass was bobbled a little bit by Boblitz, and it falls incomplete. 4th down. Boblitz will add to his kicking totals here.
It seemed like he had it into the end zone about 6 yards and then started bobbling it. Well, he was wide open, beautiful pattern, had the secondary really confused. There was not a defender within 7 yards.
Boblitz in for the field goal here. This is a 30-yard attempt. It's back, it's on the tee, it's up, and it is, well, you can tell by the fan reaction, it's good. 41-35, McKinney North in the lead. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms as we get ready for the Beef O'Brady's kickoff. Remember to kick off your weekend every Wednesday night. Sounds kind of weird, but yeah, if we're kicking off your weekend on a Wednesday night, JV games on Thursday night, varsity on Friday night, whatever you want to do on Saturday night, but go to Beef O'Brady's and enjoy that $10 all-you-can-eat on Wednesday nights. The coaches' show starts at 8 o'clock as the Quail onside here, and Boblitz will back off and boot this one deep. What an exciting game we've had tonight. 41-35, a 6-point game. You still got to be worried a little bit as Curly Ray Jackson will take the ball inside the 5-yard line, looking for room, and crosses the 20-yard line out to the 22. And I don't think that was Curly Ray Jackson. That was another man for the Denison Yellow Jackets. You know, Teddy, we were interrupted a moment ago by the Blake Boblett's field goal. Tell us, you said Sherrick Thompson was ejected from the game. Do you have anything else?
Sherrick Thompson was ejected from the game. I just want to let you guys know why it happened. Apparently, at the end of the play, Brett Davis, number 67 for North McKinney, well, he was knocked down to the ground by number 83 of Denison. And the referee saw that, and apparently, well, they thought that, hey, look, the play was over. There's no need to do that. Thus, that resulted in the ejection.
All right,
guys.
Thanks a lot, Teddy. Denison has the ball. They're running to the near side. Joe Haley breaks a tackle up to the 25, dragging people across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Hold everything, folks. There's still 3:51 left to go in this game. Denison's a Joe Haley truckload carry away from trying to overcome the McKinney North Bulldogs here.
Also note Stanley Morrison back in the game.
Morrison, the quarterback, will have Joe Haley stand to his right in shotgun formation. 3 receivers split out wide left. Denison moving towards that north end zone. Handoff, Joe Haley runs up the middle and is brought down. A great defensive play by the McKinney North linebacker Mike Smith. Mike Smith come up and hit Joe Haley. It is a first down, but it was a nice play by Mike Smith to make the stop. That one could have gone for a lot of yards. 1st and 10, 3:21 and rolling. Denison's going to have to fight this clock now. They're only down by 6 points. 2 receivers on either side of Stanley Morrison, who is in shotgun. Low snap, picks it up, throws out right side, has a man caught, spins out of a tackle, being chased by Coyle Permeter, who was holding on for dear life to his jersey. And the Denison wide receiver, Kevin Holtzbach, drags him to the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him, say he's down just shy of midfield at the 49. 3:03 left to go in this football game. McKinney North on top, 41-35.
First down, Yellow Jackets. Denison, 49-yard line.
What a finish we could have tonight, Brandon. We had a good one last night. Chris Wimbish snuck into the end zone only to be denied by a flag. 3 receivers left side, Stanley Morrison. Low snap, picks it up again. He's just going to run left side. He's at the 50 and dragged down. What a great play by the cornerbacks. Bo Burns on the far side made the play of the night possibly as he stopped Stanley Morrison in his tracks. No gain.
Well, because of Bo Burns, Kenny Alexander was able to come through. Bo held him up just long enough. Like I said earlier, when you're juking, that gives people time to get to where you are, and that's what happened. Kenny Alexander just nailed him because Bo Burns held him up just long enough to allow that to happen.
We're within 2.5 minutes now of game time. 41-35, McKinney North on top. Denison, 2nd down and 11, just shy of midfield. Morrison wants to throw it, has all time in the world. It's picked off by Kenny McGowan again. 45-50, 45, and goes out of bounds. Kenny McGowan is your player of the game.
Really, no question.
As he picks off his 2nd pass of the night.
That one almost just as member. At the time that he picked that interception off right before, you thought there was a nail in the coffin for the McKinney North Bulldogs because Denison had the ball. They were up 2 touchdowns and driving again. In steps Kenny McGowan for the interception. That one was big because it got momentum back, got him back within a score. This one was big because that all but kills Denison's chances of returning to try to take the game-winning touchdown.
Well, what you have to do now is pretty much put it on the shoulders of Chase Barrett, who will act as if he were Emmitt Smith in this 4th quarter. You know, back in the glory days of the Dallas Cowboys, this kind of football game was Emmitt Smith time. You got 2 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. Just kill the clock and run the ball up the middle.
And that's where he excelled, was by doing that.
And here is 2 receivers to either side. High snap. Chase Barrett gets the handoff up the middle, and Denison knows the same thing. And they stop him for a loss of 1 yard. 1 minute and 56 seconds. So the most important thing on that play is that the clock is rolling, and they'll get some time off of this clock. 2nd down and 11, and you will most definitely see another run here by McKinney North. All of Denison is in tight on the line of scrimmage. 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers. They're in their normal stack defense. Eric Herbal looks at the play clock, make sure it's going down. It's at 10 right now. The clock is at 1:24. Herbal's going to snap it at 4 seconds on the game clock to Chase Barrett. Handoff, crosses the 40, inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards short of a first down. And more importantly, the clock is still winding at 1:07.
Now 6 yards away from 100 is Chase Barrett. One thing you might be asking, why do we not see a timeout? Well, Denison has used their 2 prior to this one. They need a stop, whereas if they get a first down, or rather McKinney North gets a first down, that's going to be the end of the game because there's not a way but once to stop the clock for the Yellow Jackets.
48 seconds. 8 seconds on the game clock. 6, 5, 4. Eubanks goes in motion. Handoff. Chase Barrett once again runs over the guard and is going to be stopped right there. 37 seconds on the clock. Denison must have called a timeout.
Well, they would have to with 37 seconds left. You can punt it and take 23 seconds off that clock. That's left with nothing. They had to, but now they're going to have to throw the ball.
4th down and 5. Timeout on the field. We'll take 1, 2. 37 seconds left to go in this one. McKinney North on top, 41-35. Back in a moment on 97.5. It is almost celebration time in McKinney, 41-35. The Bulldogs of McKinney North are leading the Yellow Jackets of Denison. 4th down and 5. Brandon Dunn goes back in punt formation. Somebody calls a timeout again. We'll keep it right here. Brandon Dunn, they're trying to talk. There's 4th and 5. We're going to try to hit that coffin corner, I would think.
Well, and also what I think is going on here is they want to make sure they do this right. You cannot have a block punt in this situation. You absolutely can't. With the ball being at the 40-yard line, the punter taking it at the 50. If there's a block punt, then more than likely that would be recovered at the 40. So you got to make sure you get the punt off clean. Not necessarily even have to be a great punt. Just get it off.
76 total points scored in this game. It is absolutely – when these two teams get together, they can really light it up. Last year, they scored 79 points in the meeting. The year before that, 99 points between them.
It's a fun time here in McKinney.
This is an exciting crowd, this excited crowd. Now, this is not the first time McKinney North has started out 1-0, and let's not count our chickens yet because there's 37 seconds on the clock. McKinney North started out 1-0 in their first year. They beat Princeton pretty handedly that year. As 4th down and 5, Dunn is going to get the snap, and he has to run for it, and oh my goodness, it was almost blocked. Brandon Dunn is not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. The ball goes over on downs to Denison, and 32 seconds, and anything can happen here. Denison's going to get the ball at the 42-yard line in their own territory. We're talking about McKinney North starting out 1-0. They beat Princeton 56-0 in their first game that they ever played.
Well, and that was against a lower classification. This one will be the first 1-0 if they can do it against legit competition. On that punt, you got to give Brandon Dunn credit. What he did was by far better than a block punt. He probably saved him about 20 yards in a field position. That would have happened if they'd have blocked that punt. Who knows? They could have even picked it up and returned it for a TD.
Everybody standing at MISD Stadium, even the far side. Stanley Morrison drops back to pass, has all the kinds of time, and now has some pressure from the backside, throws it away. He did finally have some pressure from the backside. The linebacker coming up, Derek Corey on a blitz. Stanley Morrison finally had to throw it away. It was great coverage downfield as well because Morrison was back there with lots of time looking across the middle. Probably was scared to death to throw it anywhere near Kenny McGowan. 25 seconds left on the clock, 41-35. McKinney North on top, shotgun formation, 3 receivers, left side, Morrison rolling out left. Now wants to tuck it and run, 40. He's not going to get out. He's in jail at the 41-yard line. Clock is running 15, 14, 13, 12 delicious seconds away from 1-0 for McKinney North.
Bad idea to run it there. They don't have a way to stop the clock, and they're not going to get this play off.
3, 2, 1.
They didn't get it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, McKinney North fans, you're 1-0. You have defeated the highly touted Denison Yellow Jackets for the first time in your team's history, 41-35. The McKinney North Bulldogs are going crazy right at the 50-yard line. They're trying to calm down a little bit now because they have to shake hands with Denison, but you can see the excitement. Teddy Sappho, this has to be one of the greatest moments for this entire program, I would think. I don't know if Teddy can even hear us. It's pretty
Teddy's
loud
down there celebrating with them.
What a great opportunity McKinney North had to defeat Denison here. They took it and ran with it. They came from behind. It was a great catch in the end zone by Cameron Buford that got him on the comeback trail. Moments later, Kenny McGowan picked it off and ran 61 yards back to the house. That tied the ball game after a 2-point conversion by Eric Herbel. Boblett's field goal and another field goal by Boblett's sealed the deal, 41-35. We're going to take a quick timeout. Let McKinney North do some celebrating. We'll try to talk to Coach Sean Pratt. Back in a moment on 97.5 K-Lake FM. Welcome back to McKinney ISD Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and a very happy Sean Pratt down with Teddy Sappho. Teddy?
Thanks, Monty. Coach Pratt. must be great to be 1-0 finally.
Well, it is. I'm happy for the kids. They earned that victory right there. I'm just kind of speechless. I'm just so happy for them. A bunch of kids over there went through a rough year last year, and they got it started off this year great. It's only one ball game, and as you saw, we got a lot of improvement and things to work on, but I couldn't be happier for our kids right now.
Great game, Coach. And also, too, how's it finally feel like to finally beat Denison?
Well, I mean, you know, as everybody knows, Denison's got a great history of Texas high school football, and we've taken our lumps from those guys the last 3 years. And, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, more than beating Denison, it just feels good to win and beat a quality opponent.
And, Coach, finally, what can you say about that DPD?
Hey, all I know is when it counted, they played. That's what I know. They played great when it was down there in the crunch time, and I don't know how much time was left when they scored their last touchdown, but they came up big at the end of the game.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That was it from Coach Pratt. Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Teddy. And I know Coach Pratt has got to be ecstatic, knocking off Denison for the first time after, you know, like he said, he took his lumps for 3 years. And, you know, when you face Corey Robertson for 3 years, which he did, you know, that's what happens. And not only Sean Pratt took lumps from Denison, the entire North Texas region took lumps from Denison. And, you know, but more than anything, I tell you what, this is so exciting for the city of McKinney. They have been waiting for McKinney North to finally break through. They're so close in a lot of games last year. They were losing by 3-4 points. They lost one with no time left on the clock. It was just an unbelievable season last year, how they kept coming up short. It's got to feel good to be 1-0.
Let's take a look at what's transpired over the last 2 days. McKinney drops their opener. McKinney North wins. Not saying anything there, but watch out.
Is the tide changing in McKinney?
Well, it should make the September 31st 30 meeting.
Well, the Crosstown Showdown, the second edition, should be very interesting.
I'm looking forward to it.
If things stay like this, it'll be very interesting.
But let's not focus on a game a month away. Let's look toward next week. Let's recap this one. Just a great game. You know, the defense did what defense needs to do. While they didn't pitch a shutout by any stretch, they came up with a big play.